Yeah, look, I mean, I've seen some people be like,
Octavia Artane sure is a surprising woman, especially for someone who's been dead for 2 days. So, we're following her finances, and we discover she's been sending money to Happy Quentin's owlbear sanctuary, a zoo that's been abandoned for years. A little suspicious, right? So we get in there, and it's real quiet. A few monstrosities, but they're keeping to their paddocks, and then, boom, the wards fall, and we're set upon on all sides. Cockatrices, displacer beasts, and I swear to the 6, a full-grown owlbear. Well, save for a few stone-stiff joints, we make it out largely unscathed. As we brush off our coats and lick 1 or 2 wounds, who emerges from the bushes? The Mandrake de Vidalis, a disgraced dragon-mark heir of the Vidalis house, and an old school friend of Octavia's. She fell from her family's good graces due to her wild experiments creating hybrid animals, performing the building blocks of life, you know, the standard stuff. A griffin matching the feather we found at the crime scene was rented out the night of the murder. Rented by the same anonymous patron who is currently in possession of a Lona Gorgon being kept at the Dagger River Country Club. And don't think we got out of there without uprooting a little bit of Mandrake's dirt. Turns out, Octavia had been threatening to withdraw her financial support for the sanctuary. She had heard of some of the macabre experiments Mandrake had been performing. Humid hybrids grown in vats. Mage-grown humans. The day of Octavia's death is the day the threat arrived. But luckily, Octavia's will still contained a hefty endowment to the owlbear sanctuary at the time of her death. Suspicious. What's even more suspicious is how she got a hold of this information. According to Mandrake, no one knew about these experiments. Even more suspicious than that, the person following Foxy home last night.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dice, Drinks, and Drama YouTube edition. Here we are with our latest episode of the Reigns of Rhaan. I'm John Heath Clark. I will be your fabulous Dungeon Master this evening. Let us meet the rest of our cast.
Hello, I am Vic Priano. I am a rune... Sorry. I got feedback. Oh no. It's all new. I'm Delaria Eckhart, a Rune Knight Tiefling, and your friendly neighborhood mortician. And glitchy.
Hi everyone, my name is Stephen Bryant, and I'll be playing Miss Foxy, a glamorous bard, fox shifter, devotee of the Silver Flame, and mother of one.
Hi, I'm Zeke Stewart. I'm playing Theridin Jaxidrin, a hobgoblin shadow magic sorcerer, a member of the Sharn Watch who finally found their conscience.
Hi guys, my name's Carter Scott Horton. I play Ashley Gwynenod, a half-orc ancestral guardian barbarian, and a private eye.
So, before we begin, we are on a different platform today. Why? Our producer Zeke Stewart talks about it.
Sure. So there's been a number of hate raids that have come into specifically Twitch, to people of the LGBT community, people of color. Basically anyone in marginalized creators have been absolutely destroyed. People have been using bots to get around banning and just automated account creating measures that could probably be fairly easily stopped on Twitch's end, and they really haven't done anything to change it. They've said, we're here, we're listening to you, and they still refuse to take very basic, simple steps to stop this from happening to people in our community and like us, and even unlike us. But the big thing is, we're staying off of Twitch today to try to raise awareness of this happening. It has hurt a lot of people and caused a lot of unsafe environments in safe spaces. So if you have any way, please, if you have a Twitter account, tweet at Twitch, use the hashtag a day off Twitch, remind everyone why this is going on and that you care. Thank you.
Great. All right, we return to the world of Eberron, specifically the City of Towers in Sharn. It is the 5th of Rhaan, a month associated with the Fae of Thelanis, and the and messages, laws, and writing due to its connection with the dragon mark of scribing, or House Civis. We just left last evening. We left the Owlbear Sanctuary, wherein many strange things happened. We were privy to a conversation between Foxy and Delaria, and we're waking up the next morning, now on the 5th, with Theron and Ashley at the Lucky Pawn Detective Agency. I hand it to the two of you.
Another round of Conquer, eh?
Yes. You will be down?
Yeah, of course. You,
As they
what
say,
up with food?
fantastic.
I'm still gonna try
Coordinated.
to convince him that this is my first time playing, the second time playing this game. Of course.
Certainly.
Yeah. So, I guess I will roll performance for that. Is that true, John?
Performance, deception, even sleight of hand. If you're like cheating with by moving things around, but are you specifically trying? Yeah. Performance or deception are the
Performance. It's me going like, oh, and this piece goes here. This is what it does.
Yes, that is how
Sure.
the piece moves.
Right. And that's a 20 to do that. So.
great. Insights from Ashley.
You don't get it?
It's a 3 on the die. No.
Right. So my goal is to leave some very obvious openings that a novice would do to see if I can bait not Carter, of course, Ashley into doing performing actions that puts me in a higher advantage within the situation.
Sure.
Like just suddenly whip out and be like, whoop, oh, it's over. You know what I mean?
Great. So you're now making a deception check with advantage. That's
Right.
your gameplay check.
Yes.
Ashley, you can do intelligence plus proficiency for your proficiency with this game. Or
Sure.
if you've got some other skill that's better than that you think you could play with, let me know.
No.
Right.
Intelligence plus proficiency is probably best.
Great.
Remember how great I was rolling last episode?
What'd you get?
I got a 4. Well,
Oh,
I
I
got
got-
a 9.
That's okay. I got a 15 actually with my advantage.
Wow.
So, through a clever series of gambits and apparent openings that would be made by novices, Theron is able to trap and defeat the Ashley Gwynedad, our resident conqueror champion. As he slides in the Bone Knight that defeats there wouldn't be Bone Knights yet. As he slides in the cavalry that allows him to take Flame Keep, because of course Thrain is being played by Ashley in this case instead of Karn. It is a decisive victory and very surprising.
Wow, I guess that's the beginner's luck, huh?
Ah, indeed. Well,
I think I should reveal a little gambit I've been playing with you recently.
what
I
is
do.
this gambit?
I mean, it's pretty obvious now. I've played this game a few times.
Oh, I am not. Well, thank you. That actually lessens the sting of defeat.
Yeah. I think this leads
It's
into
good
a
to know.
conversation we had a couple of days ago about convincing people of what you're capable of, and keeping them guessing. You asked
Yes.
me to confirm that I would not do worse to my former boss's family. I wanted you
Oh,
to
yes.
understand that it's not about whether I do it or not. It's about people believing that I would. And me taking every step I possibly can to convince everyone around me that I'm not a person to be messed with. Or, in the same way, that I have no idea what I'm talking about. It's always a game, it's always a masquerade,
That is not a way to live your life, in my opinion.
Sometimes it's better than being honest to anyone. It's safer.
No. Respectfully. And I understand your position. And I also understand I have the privilege of never having worked for the Sharn Watch. We walk different paths. This is true, but I will assert that honesty is key. I would rather lose as an honest man than win as a liar.
Oh, but still, who won and lost, though?
Well, this is not an official match. Who will believe you?
I mean,
You are a liar.
I'm very good. I am very
Oh,
good at that.
this is not up for debate. You are very good. Yes, I would very much like a rematch. Some other day, of course.
Some other day, of course. I would love to walk into a champion match with you, as me being your apprentice, of course, very fresh to the game. And see when I could believe
this
it.
This is what is hustling is what you are doing.
Yes, this is called buying a house.
You'll do what you
Hey,
want.
you wouldn't have to lie. You wouldn't have to lie at all.
I know, and I will not.
All
Under
right.
any circumstances.
Perfect. Then I think we have an agreement.
Question. As Jackson notes in the chat, is there any sexual tension to this conversation, or is it just too gross?
Don't know. Is there?
Look, Ashley is definitely sapiosexual, so the fact that he just got a thrashing is a little hot. Whether he is actually attracted to Theron or not, like.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just wanted to put that out there. Somebody was picking up on shipping, but there we go.
No, I think this is a welcome ship. It's just not a long.
Yeah, go sailing.
Yeah, go
Have fun.
sailing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to explore.
Yeah.
As it was not something that we had ever discussed in any of our many background conversations about this game and show. I was like, never talked about that. Great. So, it is. Oh, look, we live to be put on the spot. This is an improvisation, a dramatic improvisational show. Being put on the spot is where we live. It is the next morning, and it is about 8 a.m. Eulogy is already whipping up 4 egg sandwiches, made as they were yesterday. Let's have Foxy and Delaria arrive near the same time now. So the door opens, Eulogy comes in and says, the rest of your investigators, they're here.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Eulogy.
Absolutely. You let me know if you need anything else from me.
I will, of course.
Oh, once you've said your hellos, I have the I followed that bird, so we can talk about it. But say your hellos, get yourselves together. I'll make some tea or something, and then when the time is right, I'll give my little report.
Lovely, thank you. I will call you in as we need you.
Absolutely. And she sachets out to the front.
There's an extra spring in her step, it would seem, this morning.
So Delaria and Foxy
wait,
come
hold
in.
on. Was that a pun? Was that a...
It was.
Wow.
Yes, very much. Very purposeful.
Look at
Yes.
you.
I didn't even get it. I loved it, though, in retrospect. And we'll steal it for other things. Foxy and Delaria walk in with everybody. Is there... let's do like a visual check-in. It's been a little while since we've visually described these characters. So both take a second, describe what you look like, and then if there's anything that's different over these 5 days of investigating than perhaps when we first met you. Have you cut your hair a little bit? Are you more prepared for danger? That kind of stuff. Let's go in clockwise order, which means that Delaria will begin with.
It seems as though the straps on her pants have increased exponentially. Beautiful, beautiful boots. Definitely not hers. Definitely stolen off of a Jane or a John. The pants themselves too, you slide up a little further, stolen suspenders, beautiful, beautiful shirt, freshly worn, with a blood stain that kind of sneaks and takes a little bit peek out of her high-fitting, like high-rise jeans, almost intentionally. And I think that her hair's back, really slicked back, almost a little too much, to the point that you can see parts of her horns kind of like tearing against the skin around it. Just a little bit of a stretch. And she totally has at least 6 things in her teeth. You can't really identify what they are, though.
Foxy, please.
Oh, Foxy has taken that wonderful garment that we received from the upper district, if you remember, and has transmorgified it into this beautiful gown. It's got the back out, it's got a little window for the tummy, diamond shaped, of course. It's very fitting, if you catch my drift. Her hair is very done up right now. Foxy has really gotten into the whole super sleuthiness of it all. She wears her grandfather's rapier on her side and a cute belt that matches, and the silver arrowhead on her neck is still very proudly shown. So
Great. I believe that I can never remember who's in alphabetical order or in clockwise order. Ash, no. Theron, what does he look like?
Theron is a hobgoblin, shorn sides of the hair, long on the top, slicked back. It's early, so it's falling off to the side at one point. He, of course, will slick it back at some point to blend in more with general society. The sides of his hair are growing out fairly quickly because he's a hobgoblin, and he hasn't been keeping kempt recently. Probably is actually growing a little bit more stubble than he had before. He's wearing still his long, slicked, waxed jacket. Often wearing a hat as well, because we're in the rain often. Right now, of course, it's off in the corner. It's a tight suit and a buttoned shirt, though it has been relaxed since you first saw him. It used to always be straight up to the neck, but it has been left to be open. And there's slight stains on them because he only has one outfit right now. So there's a few blotches that he's tried to wipe away, but you could see that it's not clear. It's not like someone had spilled sauce on their shirt and let it just sit there. It's like whenever you try to blot out a sauce and then there's just a big slightly darker patch that has a hard line because that's where the water stopped. And that happens a few times on his shirt. Yeah.
Should buy you a new shirt. Ashley is a half orc. He has a fairly green hue to his skin, probably greener than most half orcs actually. He has a nice a schoolboy cut. It's not like the Peaky Blinders thing that Theron has going on. It's it's a comb over. But he's not balding. It's just
No,
style. He's wearing a nice white-collared button-up shirt, a svelte, slim breastplate of armor on top of that, and then over that is his Morgrave University varsity conqueror sweatshirt that he always wears, and a nice pair of slacks and Oxford shoes, and then a giant-ass greatsword on his back.
which is the height of fashion, as I recall.
Yeah.
No. I think it's funny. Great. So, Yes.
One more thing. It seems that Ashley has actually, sorry if this is a little gross, but he has like maybe a rash or hives or something that are breaking out towards the base of his neck and his right shoulder that he occasionally is fidgeting with. Well, I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe he ate something that he's allergic to. Who
Well,
knows?
baby, I'm a healer. Is everything all right over there?
Oh, yes, it is. It is fine. It's a little embarrassing. If you want to look at it, you could.
Listen, I've got a child, 3 years old. There is nothing that I haven't seen.
Say no more. Say no more. If please.
Yeah.
Sure.
Make a medicine check, Foxy, as you look at this rash.
That's going to be a 15. Look at that.
Great. It's definitely not something weird that Ashley ate. In fact, it's got a strange curve to it. There's it almost like it's an intentional shape. It looks more like an infected cut that's gotten covered over by flesh than it does some sort of rash or something. Maybe a ringworm or a parasite, something like that.
When
It's
did
a little
this
gross.
happen?
I do not know. I woke up like this.
Oh God,
Well-
I've been staying in your house. Oh God.
No, this is. Come.
Well-
You are sleeping on the couch, anyways. It's not like we share the bed.
Oh, y'all aren't
So-
sharing beds?
No.
Are you sure it's not airborne?
No. But if it were, it is too late for you. You are stuck with it.
Yeah, I think we're just
I
gonna
think
have to
I'm
watch it
immune.
right now. And we'll see what
Honestly,
happens.
With all the like embalming fluid in my pores, I think that you would have to be like right next to me and like
Do you
do
want to
that
rub it?
with all.
Do you
No,
want to press? Yeah, that's
No, I
what I
do
thought.
not.
Please
No,
don't.
maybe-
It hurts a lot.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
not
it
agitate
sounds like
this.
a-
Just let it air out for a while.
Oh, but okay. I guess Ashley's going to like just rip his shirt collar. He's very careful about the sweater that he's wearing.
Right, I
because
was
it
gonna
is
say,
his
the sweater.
prized lucky sweater. But
Right.
the he's got like a dozen white shirts. So he rips that just off. So I guess he's
Great.
got like half a collar now to air it out.
Great. Great.
Not what I. You can. All right.
Is this
No,
just
that's
like
good.
the-
So
That's
Sort
good,
of-
sugar. That's good.
I sort of point this out. Is this like the Ashley Thirst episode? We got shipping in the beginning, then you're tearing your shirt off. I'm just.
look, I
Look.
can read a room. That's all I'm saying.
Every episode is a Carter Thirst episode. Let's be
That's
clear.
true.
Um,
Thirst for
It's-
Ashley.
Oh, you're so red. You just turned so hard red.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. That was too
Anywho,
much.
we're pretending.
Lines and veils, John.
all right.
and
So- Eulogy returns and says, "Have you all said your hellos? Are you ready for my reports?"
Yes, thank you so much, Eulogy.
So, I followed that little bird, and it went actually down to North Edge, to the arena down there, the Razak Arena. I think it might have been being sent to that bear lady that you ran into. Do we know of Octavia having any interactions with Bear?
Yes, we do. In fact, unequivocal evidence. I can't remember if I pocketed that ledger that she had hidden
I think you did.
of all of her
I think you
secret
did.
payments. I think I
think you did.
didn't want to presume.
Yeah.
Great. Well, then in that case, I'll just pull out the ledger instead of what would be Ashley's chicken scratch notes. He has horrible handwriting.
Sure.
So he pulls out the ledger and goes, let me see here. The most recent payment was to Happy Quentin's Owlbear Sanctuary, which was under a 10-day ago. But here, the, hold on, I'm checking my IRL notes. Stone Trees Arena.
Yes, that's exactly
Yes.
where I went.
Wonderful. And were you able to espy anything of interest?
Well, I you know how there's weapons all over the city?
Yes.
And you know how the whole through line of Bear's protests has been like, let them attack us, let us be in big numbers?
Yes.
Well, there were several crates that had been missing, and I'm not a wilting flower. I can do a little bit, and I ripped open the top of one of them, and there was a whole bunch of wands inside. The very thing that Bear has been saying she didn't want to use, and that she and her people were victim to. And I just thought there were several of these crates. I only opened the one. Maybe the others were like fruits and vegetables, but I don't think so. It seems like Bear is maybe more involved in all of this than we thought.
Didn't you say that there had been all the crates had disappeared from one specific location last time?
Well, yes, but and not all the crates, but a number of crates have been disappearing in High Hope, the religious district.
Well,
Wouldn't it benefit the religious district for there to be weapons found there?
Well, sure, it would be a absolute repudiation of everything that she's been saying she wants and does. It's exactly the opposite of her pacifistic talk.
Also, it would be, that's,
Or perhaps, from a different angle, Bear still believes in this philosophy of pacifism, but recognizes that there are dangerous new tools on the street, and is simply getting them out of the hands of people who would do violence. You yourself had to pry open the crate, implying that it was not.
exactly.
That's true.
You yourself found it. Where did you find it? Was it obvious? Was it like open in an area where someone who was just generally snooping would find?
I mean, it was their back door, the player's entrance and exit. I noticed them stacked up right outside. So yeah, if somebody was just snooping, they might have found it. Yeah.
That sounds like a frame job to me. If I'm gonna take in weapons, I'm not gonna hide them outside, right by where the back door is.
That is not secure.
Who set them up? You
Sounds
think
like
it's time to look at this Nomi fella?
I was thinking the exact same thing. I have questions for a certain prefect.
I do as well, but we still have to consider that there is, in fact, quite a lot of evidence leading us to a very different place. Dagger Country Club, I think it was.
The Dagger River.
Dagger River, that's where we found someone had rented out the griffin, right? That we found a feather of at the scene of the crime.
Is renting a gorgon for the party.
Until the party. So, like, if something should happen to them in that time period, they have a gorgon to protect themselves. That sounds like someone who has something to hide.
Getting turned stone really puts a damper on things.
Oh, yes, petrification looks unpleasant. I imagine it feels worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm speaking from, past experiences of like less than 72 hours ago. Less than
24. Less than 12, I think.
I don't know. I didn't sleep.
Let me look at my Civis stone. That is now my wristwatch. It's canon. I'm sorry.
I love it. I love
Civis
it.
stone.
Eulogy. I hate to turn you into a spy extraordinaire, but there's something.
Me? Yeah, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Spy?
Extraordinaire.
Oh.
But something's bothering me about Renbury. How is he using this money that he has gotten himself into all of a sudden?
Well, it's they are still looking into all of this, and he has not yet received said money. It's being held up by the estate. There's been some people that are saying that he doesn't deserve it, and so on. By some people, I mean the husband. And they're trying to imply that he was the likely killer, and so therefore shouldn't get any money from the will, because of course you wouldn't.
That is tall talk from a man who had an order to assassinate his wife on premise.
In writing, no doubt.
In writing.
Well, I certainly can't speak to all of
No.
that, but I do. I mean, if you want to know more, I would say going and talking to Renbury. He knew her better than just about anybody. There might be some stuff you missed last time when she was still alive. That's all I'm saying.
There's definitely something there.
It is something to consider. Well,
We shall also consider that, is it tonight the ball is happening?
Yes.
yes.
That,
Oh,
might
we
be
must
something-
get dressed.
well, of course, yeah, I don't want to spend the whole day getting dressed. It's not normally my functional attitude. But, we could, consider that something may happen there. There may be a plan to go off during... We have to consider that this is an isolated incident. It's done to cover up something that was going to happen in the very near future. And that if we do not work fast enough, that night seems to be the best time to enact anything. An attack, a change. We knew that
A
Gorgon
coup.
disappears right
No,
after
the coup
a coup.
is planned for a few days from now.
Yes,
The ninth.
but if someone wants to do something very violent in which to stop that coup, that would be the time, wouldn't it? And if
A lot of eggs in one basket. I see what you're saying.
Yes, it would be the perfect time to strike. They would all be certainly unarmed.
might be a
Well-
place to consider before casing before the event.
Yes. Okay, so we have a paramour who has been gifted, bequeathed, I should say, a large sum of money that is being held. We have a suspicious country club to which we know our victim, Octavia Irtain, was making payments, and someone from the club who was renting monstrosities from Mandrake. And then we have this prefect. It is a piece of vinegar cucumber, no?
So in the chat,
pickle.
yeah.
Oh, I understand. Wow.
Wow.
No,
So
I think I'm a step behind, but that was literally a step behind the phrase you were saying. So.
that was wild. So I've put the four different main locations that are or the 5 different main locations that might want to be investigated in the chat.
Oh yeah, we could get a
We
century.
don't have our polling function from Twitch, so if you, I would love for those of you watching to vote in the chat which of those you would like to see. Write which one you'd like us to see, and we will. That's wherever the most people vote for. That's where we'll go.
That's right. We're doing this old school. You gotta either you can
school.
copy and paste that shit.
Yeah.
Or write it out in a clever way. I'll not have to decipher it. That's basically what you have to do. You're giving me a taste of my own medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go wild.
So
Okay. Well,
maybe worth editing
Fine,
out, but we might not have. Can you check the participants for me? I don't know if we
huh?
check participants for me.
Yeah, ladies.
Real quick.
Yes, we have viewers.
Oh, okay, we do. When I looked at participants, it showed nobody, and I was like, "What?"
Well, you are watching, so clearly.
Well, I mean, it was Dice Drinks Drama, me and Vic is what it showed.
Ha.
So
No, we had some people.
okay,
Wild.
We'll get to be secret here.
What are you voting
Uh-huh.
for?
Oh, you
Eating.
made a joke, so I was saying which one I would eat.
Oh. I understand.
Honestly, I could do that as Delaria, but
Oh.
I
Hey, Quentin. Welcome. I don't know how often you watch. Welcome.
hi,
Hello.
welcome. We're hungry here, or maybe it's just me.
No, well, it's me.
Dabby water.
yeah, that's a lot of Dagger
Oh.
Over Country Club.
Yeah.
All I've
right.
had is
Here we are.
um,
The country club.
All right,
Oh, God.
so The team is packing up to leave the city. You're actually going a good 50 miles outside the city, which is a pretty long trek by foot, by horse. But the way everybody gets to the Dagger River Country Club is by Pegasus. There are several different places in Platinum Heights, which is a fancy district in the central plateau, and from the floating city, the Skyway above, that will directly take you via Pegasus to this fancy club. Now, you guys have enough time. You
to change,
could
hopefully, because I do know that Farron is looking pretty ratty, and we're going to a very nice country club.
Yeah, probably should get a new shirt, huh?
You could pretend to be a waiter.
Well, there's
I don't
another.
think waiters look.
There's another option, which is that you have a standing date today with Thuric Devandi, who is the city council member, who is also the finest tailor in the city. You could go there first and get 2 sets of clothes, one nice walking around set, and one fabulous clothing for the ball in the evening.
Yeah, sure. That sounds good to me.
A suit and a dinner coat. Yes. Tails.
Great. All right. So, you are traveling, therefore, to Devandi's shop, which I was expecting to do later, so let me get the exact stuff up.
Sorry,
But-
I just knew somebody was not
Yeah.
looking
No,
right.
we can't go to the country club looking like we do. We
Yeah.
simply cannot.
Well, I can't. Y'all can't.
You can't. Yeah. It immediately bemes a one-on-one session.
Delaria, your boots are fabulous. They can stay.
Oh, they can? How? Like
We'll work
what
around.
kind of? Okay.
So you're going to the
Some
middle
of them are
Memphis.
fabric.
You're going to the middle Memphis plateau, Devandi's Fine Tailoring. When you arrive, it is a bunch of mannequins, and the mannequins are all enchanted to look like they're at a party, like they look like extras at a party scene, right? So, but they're all fabulously dressed, and they're all like covering their mouth, like they're doing gossip, and then moving, and then laughing, and it's men and women's attire. It's fabulous. There's no price tags on anything. There's a dressing room off to the side, but it's a big, wide open place. It's not far from the college, but there are no college students in here. It's far too expensive. Coming out is a gnome. He is wearing a fabulous dress and has his hair all done up in a giant beehive, but has also the most glorious mustache and beard. It's both binaries, not non-binary. He's fiercely feminine and fiercely masculine in his dress. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And he says, "Well, hello, and welcome to Devandi's Fine Tailoring. I do not recognize any of you." And he looks at Theron and says, "Are you sure that this is the place that you're supposed to be? No judgment, just making sure."
Yeah.
Yes. No. We are not your regular sort of customers. We understand that, but I've been led to believe that there is a tab left by Hast Ir Ting for the Lucky Pun detective agency.
Oh my goodness, say no more. Of course, by the 7. This is what they gave me to work with. I see. No worries, no worries. You have very fine talent, and especially this fox lady. Mwah. I might want to work with you some more. I have some very specific shifter looks that I'm trying to get the shifters to notice. But maybe we can work with you. But no, first, my palette. Who are we working on first? What do we want?
Well, I guess we should start with the hardest, huh? And I kind of just nudge there.
Slowly look at Theron.
He says, "Indeed, we will work with the hardest first. Mr. Half-Orc, Ashley, I see that you are wearing a sweater that appears to have been worn for the last 2 centuries at least."
Oh, no, just a decade. I'm not that old. I was,
Oh, I see. So you willingly admit to wearing the same sweater for 10 years.
Yes, this
A
is
little
my
hyperbole goes a long way to revealing dark secrets.
lucky
All right.
sweater. It's no secret. I am proud that I was on the varsity Conquerors team.
Well, you love the sweater?
Well, yes, and I recognize that this is not evening wear.
No. Look, the amount that the eartains have dropped on you all is far more than just a single thing to wear. It is my job to make you more presentable, because you are, after all, hired by the eartains in general, yes? So the way you dress reflects.
At the gala. Yes.
At all times, but that's okay. We're going to need to get you out of that sweater anyway. Will you put it on the table?
Yes.
Great.
I suppose.
Javik, Heinrich, and then as he calls it out, there are two. Oh, well, getting Carter to take off clothes today is the trick, both in and out of character. And
I happened to be actually wearing a sweater.
Right, it worked out. So he places it on the table, and as he calls out, there's a little flurl in the air, and you see that two unseen servant tailors have come out to magically work with him. They grab. He says, "So they'll move your limbs. Just try to let them do the thing. We're getting your measurements." And indeed, you feel invisible hands on arms and holding up, and like inseam and around the neck and everything. And they're invisible, but they're holding measuring tape and stuff like that. Right?
I love getting my measurements done.
Yeah.
And it's all magical and happening. And what
it's
he's
very
doing,
powerful to take someone's measurements too.
Yeah, I've never done that. So while
I used to be a tailor.
yeah, no, there you go. While the invisible servants are working on Ashley, Thuric is like touching your sweater, listening to it, massaging it a little, and he goes, yes, no, this is a garment with stories, worth maintaining. And he's going to clap, and as he does, fairy dust or something falls, touches all over your sweater, all the faded colors pop out back again, all the little stitches and dents reconform themselves, and it looks exactly as it was when you bought it new.
Well, that is. I have a general distaste for magic, but that is. Thank you.
That is because most magic is used to spy, to hurt, to overcome, to take people's minds. My magic is the magic of beauty and the joy. Yes? Very good.
Yes.
So, we have your measurements now, and it should take only a little while to put together something absolutely fabulous for the ball tonight. Do you know what you want?
Actually, we are here perhaps a little earlier than you had anticipated because our business brings us to the Dagger River Country Club. And we are looking for perhaps more of a daytime formal look as well as evening wear for the
Very
gala.
good. So first, he snaps his fingers and flying out. Now, it looks like it's flying out. You're a little in the loop now. This magical fairy tale flying out of a garment is two unseen servants holding it by either corner. But man, does it make you feel like a fairy tale princess. Right? And it is, right, exactly.
Sure.
And you're like, and it's put in your hands, and it is a functional daytime suit. And he says, this should fit you with everything that we get. But what I want to know, I want a few. How do you say the do you want to be fabulous at the ball? Do you want to be demure? Do you want to be proper and professional? What do you want to get across to the rich people, the hoity-toities of the city? What do you want them to say when they see the Ashley?
My business is not to be seen.
You're going to a ball, a gala.
Yes.
Your business is to be seen by everyone.
Okay.
So that they may say, "Oh my, who made this clothes?" And then somebody else may say, "Thuric Devandi," and then I get more business. Your job is to be seen. You're going to be in a Devandi, not in some common tailor's junk.
I look forward to the new experience. You'll need to understand this is new to me. I suppose. What was that word you used? Demure? That sounds.
Demure. Yes.
Yes, that sounds.
Very well. We are putting together
Something with velvet.
a lovely demure velvet look.
Or suede.
Velvet or suede?
Whichever. I trust you, of course.
Well, if you like velvet and you like suede, you are not in a place for ors. You're in a place for ands. Would you like velvet and suede to be part of your garments?
It can be done, and I know you can do it.
Indeed. And, you seem to be relatively masculine presenting, but so I'm assuming a suit, or do you want something a little more androgynous or even definitively feminine?
Oh no, my suit collection is lacking. I would like to broaden it.
Very well. A demure velvet and suede suit will be ready for you this evening. There is a dressing area just outside of the gown of the ball, the gala, so that you don't get schmutz all over your otherwise lovely clothes.
Of course, and we will pick up our garments there, or here.
Indeed, they will be sent there.
Thank you for your guidance.
And Ashley, assuming you go into the dressing room and you change.
Yeah, I'll put on the new suit.
It's what color? He picked somehow your favorite color. What is it?
It's a midnight blue. It's not black.
Sure.
It's midnight blue.
It's the sharp midnight blue business suit that probably costs 800 gold pieces. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm wearing a house.
Yeah,
I'm wearing my mortgage.
Gold pieces are generally times 10 to dollars, so Ashley is in an $8,000 suit.
Oh. Okay. I mean, still. Oh.
Yeah. $8,000
only
suit.
$8,000.
No, exactly. Great. So, who's next for their daytime look and evening wear looks?
I guess you can start with me then.
Ooh, absolutely. My pleasure. Not that you need any help with your daytime look. Are we doing anything to this?
Oh, well, I don't really think so. If you had any accessories, then maybe.
If I have any accessories. So, of course. So he's going to say, not royalty. You don't do the regal thing. You have a more of a fairy, like, ooh, vibe to you.
You notice.
I think this is a call for some of my glamour weave. And he snaps his fingers. And what color is your outfit currently?
This outfit right now is a nice burgundy red.
Sure.
That's what I assumed was given to us.
Yeah. So, they're going to bring out what looks like a string of black branches that have all manner of small animals roostering in it. It's like a tiny little forest, but the branches are black to go with the burgundy, right?
Uh-huh.
And it drapes, and it has the consistency of a boa. It feels like a feather boa, but what it looks like is a tree with no roots, like the top edge of the branches of trees, with illusionary little birds and squirrels and various other woodland creatures jumping about in it.
Oh my god, my daughter is going to love looking at this. Not touching, though.
Indeed, and right now it's set to winter, even though it's the middle of fall, because I like the bare trees look. But it is seasonal. You may shift the seasons as you will, and indeed, as you think about autumn and the boa, it shifts over, and little red and orange leaves appear all over it, and they also perfectly match your outfit.
Devandi. It's divine.
Yes, Onatar be praised. The sovereign of the forge. He watches over me. So let us keep so let us talk about your look for the evening. What sort of finery and fabulousness are we going to have?
Well, Devandi, after seeing such beautiful work, I just know you'll have the thing that I need. I want something that screams drama. Something big, something powerful, something fluffy.
Dramatic, powerful, and fluffy. These can be arranged. Very good. And indeed, while this conversation is happening, the unseen servants are flying in, taking measurements. I feel like the measuring tape like bursts open when they try to do the breasts, just for dramatic effect. Right?
Happens to me all the time.
We will get a longer measuring tape.
Thank you so much, Devandi.
But your measurements are taken. You're given this one boa to add to your look, and there will be something dramatic, powerful, and fluffy available for you just before the ball.
Thank you so much, Devandi.
It is my pleasure. I mean, I'm being very well paid for it, let's be clear. But it is also
So
my
am
pleasure. There you are. See, this is the best, when both of us are making money by being here. Great. Who's next? Who's next? Do we want to work with the Hobgoblin police officer?
I guess I could go next. Yeah. Why is everyone being so mean to him? I get all my clothes secondhand.
Oh,
Devandi,
yes.
look at those shoes. I think you could do something wonderful with those shoes.
Now, I love the shoe. I actually, for a working class gear look, I love all of what you're doing. I'm a little worried about the, oh my gosh, please say it's not blood stain. Is this what it looks like?
Yeah, it's totally not what it looks like. It's ketchup.
Oh, then you wouldn't mind me cleaning it up a little.
No, not at all.
Great. So he's going to prestidigitate and just like clear off the stain.
But
right?
like, does he know that is a lie?
He either doesn't or doesn't care.
Okay, cool.
Right?
It's a good tell a character either way.
Right. There's no way he doesn't know what a bloodstain looks like. This guy is literally the magical expert on clothes in the city, and he also knows that he's dealing with some rough and tumble detective types. So, right?
I was sorry.
So he goes, so I like this, but you're going to a country club this afternoon? And I don't know, I mean, you could get into the stable looking like this. I wouldn't question it twice. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean it literally as where in the country club you could get to, yeah? So, do you want to look very rough and tumble, working class, or do you want me to get you something a little more spruced up for the afternoon?
I was kind of thinking like jewel tones, maybe?
Oh, sure. Is this for the big party or for what your look for the country club?
Oh, well, for the country club and party, honestly, why not keep with the same color scheme?
Oh, or is it something that might let you blend a little bit more into the shadows, but be fair?
Surprise! And then it kind of looks like a cape. I think about this a lot.
No,
I'm glad that a lot
this.
of wealthy people die in my morgue.
I
Then
like
I can
this.
repurpose their clothes. I call it upcycling, but it's not really upcycling.
It's grave robbing, but that's okay.
I need to stop.
You are clearly doing the sovereign's work wherever you are, and are clearly doing wonderful. But that's okay. Oh, everyone's muted? Oh, we're back. And we're back. We got a everyone is muted thing.
That was weird. No one's muted now.
No one's muted?
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
that was about.
Just
Sorry about
keep moving forward, I guess?
that. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry about that, guys.
So the unseen servants are coming in. They're measuring you. He sends them back. They're working on stuff. They're going to come back with a very earthy kilt and plaid shirt combo with little element. You don't like the plaid? I thought you'd like it for the. You said the kilt, and I thought you were going for a plaid.
Goes for functionality. And Delaria kind of like smears for a second too.
And he says, "You don't like the pattern. That's simple enough." And he like sprinkles his hands over it, and it shifts over to a hound's tooth.
Oh, all right. I can work
Great.
with
A hound's tooth in browns and greens with a lovely, but it's like a jacket over a simple browner shirt with brown not jorts, wrong thing, skort, with a brown skort. We don't do jorts.
So we're going like the classic Chanel look, essentially.
Yeah, I like.
Alrighty.
And you can do anything that you would normally do in this, right? But it looks a little bit classier. You could get into a country club with this.
Alrighty.
Right? Great. So that leaves us with Theron last.
Right.
Devandi is going to look you up and down. And he's going to say, "You know, I have something.
What?
Why don't we... You are a bit more of, how do I want to say, a infiltrator, yes? You're very good at getting into places that you're not supposed to get into. You're very good at making people believe you're supposed to be places, yes?
Sure. It's
Very well. Now, I am going to give you a gift. It is extraordinarily powerful, all things considered, in terms of what you can do with it. He is going to go in the back, and he's going to come back with a very plain black robe. It's got a little silver clasp. Make a religion check when you look at it, Theron.
Sure.
The little silver clasp.
Well, it's silver, I'm gonna guess, but...
It's like, can I roll?
That's a nat one.
That one. There is a face that looks like a bit of a smiling theater mask, but you don't know what it means otherwise. And he's going to clasp it on you and say, "How would you like to be dressed today?"
I guess, I don't know, a nice, well-fitted suit, no need for a tie.
So as you think this, the robe, the cloak begins to shift and meld, and you are suddenly wearing exactly the look that you were imagining before you finished even saying it. So what are you wearing?
I'm literally almost wearing exactly the same thing, but slightly more.
He says...
Theron's not super, at this moment, very creative.
and he says, "This is pure glamour weave. Not only will it provide you protection against dangers, but it can look like any kind of clothing that you desire."
This is insane.
I told you it was nice. I have been saving it for just the right person, and I have a feeling that person is you.
Sure. Thank you.
Now, here's the question. Do you want to just imagine your finery for this evening? Or shall we do a consultation, get you to imagine it just right, get you to remember it, and switch into it when the time has come?
Sure, let's do a consultation. Sounds good to me.
Great. So, what do you want? The rich people of this society, they are going to look at you, and they're going to say, "Hey, I have feelings." And so, what are those feelings that you want for them to have?
Mysterious, interesting, but No specific placement. I want someone to be intrigued by my look without knowing exactly who I am.
Well, he's going to quickly sketch something.
Mhm.
And it is a sable black trench coat with a matching fedora and cufflinks and accessories. And the look itself is perfect, but it is the accessories that make it fabulous. Does that make sense? A little necklace, a cufflink, and so on. Does that make sense? The hat has a little pin in it. It is clearly this classy as all hell. Classy as all dollar. And he says, why don't you try to make this happen?
Sure.
So can you make a performance check for me?
Sure. I think really hard. Performance check is a 22.
All right, so you manage to faithfully recreate it, and you see him go and look to see if like the hems are right and the lengths are correct, and it's at all of it. And he goes, "No, you got it all. Very impressive. I imagine that this will work for you." And may I say that I have met other people like you. And if you ever need any help, you let me know, Mr. Jackson.
Sure. Thanks so much for your consultation and all your kindness.
And then he comes and he says, "Of course, I want to adjust something on your collar."
Sure.
And as he adjusts, he says, "Don't worry, your secret's safe with me."
I just smile. Thanks for that. Never one noticed.
Absolutely. So I'll see. I will be at the ball myself. I will see you at the gala.
Yes.
Absolutely. See you there.
All right. So you leave dressed up in your new fancy duds. Are you experimenting with it at all, Theron?
Sure. I'm occasionally gonna look at other people that I see around on the street and just mimic their clothes. Yep. I kind of want to walk up to one or two people and be like, "Oh my god, we're wearing the same thing. That's wild." Whoa! What are the odds? Awesome shirt.
People are very taken aback by it. Can I get a Constitution save from Ashley?
What was reference to?
From Ashley, I've rolled a 3, a 4, and now a 5 on the die.
Moving up.
So that is a 9.
So you are suddenly racked with terrible pain from your shoulder. It burns horribly, and as you look at it, a black line has raised, and it has gotten much worse in the few hours since you first noticed it this morning.
Oh my goodness, this thing is spreading fast. Are you okay, hon?
I'm fine.
It's
okay. I have been in worse pain, believe it or not. I made it through, and I will make it through again. Although, there simply is no time to see a medical professional. Perhaps tomorrow I may have to take a sick day, and I apologize to you all.
I'm technically a medical professional.
I do not want to fall under your area of expertise, not quite yet.
I was a medic.
I did not know that. I only know of your experience with cadavers. I did not know that. Okay, now please. Do you have anything to help?
You can make a medicine or nature check.
Alrighty, thank you.
It's just drugs. He'll take them at this point.
Oh no, that's entirely up to the roll.
Morphine.
Alrighty, let's see how it goes. Alrighty, it's 11, John.
11.
Yeah.
So you look at it. The skin, despite it being green, is very red, right? And it is livid and red, like it's completely changed colors around this thing, but it seems to be very contained and going from this strange black spiral, right? It looks almost like a letter in an alphabet you don't know.
This is.
Do you have any get a brand or something? Like
No,
when
I
you're
do
young
not.
and then it just gets infected under your skin and starts rising up after a while?
I have not been branded in my life, no.
Oh,
I'm gonna look
You're
at
lucky.
it again and just touch it and cast Lesser Restoration. This is gonna soothe it. It's gotta.
Will it? Will
So-
it?
I don't know.
Oh, you cast it? Great.
Yes,
so
I
you,
cast it.
so you
I touch it.
what does it look like when you cast Lesser Restoration?
So the first thing I do is put my hand to my heart and hum a little bit. I'm just like, ooh. And like light kind of gathers around where my hand is, and then from there the light continues until I touch Ashley at the source. And when I remove my hand, there is still light there, but it's the thing still there.
So when you remove your hand, it is gone.
Oh.
And the pain has receded as well.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I can't do that often, but I'm glad I could help you.
Hopefully you will not ever have to do that again.
All right.
Is it too early to drink?
Oh man.
Surprised you don't have something on it.
Well, perhaps we have a lunch break? Or do we go to the country club?
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
gonna just take a flask out of my breast and hand
What
it to
is
you.
that? You have a bag of holding stuck in there?
Huh? They're big. I'm sorry.
Do not apologize.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm furious. Thuric Devandi should have absolutely given you a bosom bag of holding.
Hey, there's
It can be
still
in the
plenty of
evening
time.
wear,
Yeah,
right? We're picking
Yeah.
up our
Yeah,
gowns.
because I'm gonna need pockets.
take notes on that.
Yeah,
That's the
yep.
pocket. That's the one pocket in the dress. This dress
Yes.
has pockets, and it's
Just
just a
because
bag
it's
of holding.
pockets.
No, this just has pockets, but it can carry 10,000 cubic feet of material. Bag of holding. I'm just writing it down so I don't forget when we actually get to the looks.
Would it be technically a brassiere of holding?
Brassiere of holding. It's holding something.
Isn't
All
that...
brassieres hold?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. All brassieres are brassieres of holding. So, anyway. Yes. So, there's lots of bars here. You're in Middle Memphis, which is college town, right? So if you want a quick afternoon whiskey, it's real easy to do here.
I got handed a.
But you got handed a flask. Right?
Yeah, so I'm good. And
Right.
the pain is
Still
gone. So
cool as well. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's magic.
Cool. All right. You are leaping onto a Pegasus, I imagine.
Looking cute, doing it
Yeah,
too.
we look
Yeah,
the part
yeah.
now, so we
Yeah.
might as well.
So you travel up to Central Plateau, which is not far from Memphis, and get one of the many multicolored Pegasi that are all bred and designed for this. You see that they clearly have collars that have, or rather bridles that have the symbol of House Vidalis on them, and it's clear they're all Vidalis bred Pegasi. One in particular catches your eye. It has very brightly colored feathers. Yellow, in fact. But when you look, they don't exactly match. Not the way that griffin's did. But you wonder if there are there's gotta be other perfectly yellow things. You wonder if your attachment to this griffin is potentially erroneous. All right. The trip upriver is literally magical. You're each on the back of your own individual winged horse, and they are and you are looking over the great river basin that is the lead in to Sharn. Sharn is on the end of the Dagger River near the hilt, which are two little rivers that flow down into it, giving the river a sort of dagger shaped look, right? You are flying up to one of the crooks. Does that make sense? In the Dagger, where those two rivers meet. It's again like 50 to 100 miles away, but the views are breathtaking. There are waterfalls off in the distance, huge mountains. You can see the Grey Wall Mountains far to the northwest, the border to Droam. You see marring some of this perfect view is in the distance. Uncleaned battles of the last war at the edges of Brayland, little bits and pieces of warforged that even made it this far. There's even some destroyed encampments from the War of the Mark 1,000 years ago. Nothing truly gets cleaned up, and they're like pimples on the landscape. These signs of horror and war that again, some of them go back thousands of years, right? Eventually, you see the country club in the distance. It is a vast, sprawling estate with many different outbuildings, but with one clear major manor house. Right? You see golf courses. You see polo yards with horses. You see that there's currently a dressage rehearsal happening, which is horse dancing for all of you that don't follow. It is a very fancy, wealthy sport that is about making horses dance.
That real, or is that
is real? That is
that's
real.
Interesting. I was like, they do some wild things in Eberron.
No,
Long Island.
I'm trying with both
Hamptons,
polo,
my friend.
Yeah, with polo and dressage, I was trying to hit two wealthy people sports, right?
They've got like a squash.
Yeah, squash courts, tennis courts,
Yeah.
right? Emphatically no Razak courts. There's no shifters here, the Pegasi are trained, much like your pigeons, to bring you exactly to where you are. There's another stable, and you see that the Pegasi are ushered into it to be sent back with guests when the time comes. They're living fairies, right? Mm-hmm. And a particularly well-dressed dwarf is out front, but he's not well-dressed in the manner of the guests, of whom there are several, but it's not crowded. There's like a few people getting out of carriages and stuff like that, right? But it's not like there's a huge number of people here, right? The dwarf immediately sees you and comes over. Top hat, monocle. Insight check from those who are... insight check from those who are here, which is everybody.
14.
And 13.
14 was the highest? Great. All right, so those of you that have above 10 immediately notice that he is not happy to see you. He's immediately pegged you as members of the lower class, right? And he goes, well, hello there. Welcome to the Dagger River Country Club. I couldn't help but notice that I have not seen you here before. May I get your names and see if you are perhaps on somebody else's list?
Oh, I believe we should be under the Eartain family.
Excuse me, you think you're on the Eartain's list?
Oh, sorry. We are. If you could go ahead. Should I, do you think it'd be wise to bother Mr. Eartain with this matter, or do you think...
Host is quite has his hands filled with the gala, but if you would like to, interrupt him, please be our guest.
he looks down he has a magical clipboard, and he touches the top of it, and Eartane appears, and a whole list of people, and he says,
Probably not an iPad.
Totally not, it's a magical tablet. What exactly do you believe your name might be under?
If you could look under Miss, you might see the name Foxy.
Ashley
Miss-
Guidenod, or perhaps just the Lucky Pond Detective Agency.
Indeed, none of those things are on this list. I'm afraid you've made a mistake. Luckily, the view coming here was spectacular, and you'll have that to comfort you when you return home.
I'm going. Okay.
If I go back to Haas and tell him that you sent us back to his space after we went all the way here, he's gonna be very frustrated, especially on the day of his gala. Now,
I could always talk to some of the lower level functionaries of the Tane Estate.
sure,
I'm sure they would know about anything as important as gifting a country club visit to detectives.
You seem like a man with your finger on the pulse. Or a dwarf with your finger on the pulse, I apologize.
I am both, but thank you.
Of course. You are aware, then, of the circumstances the Eartane family has found themselves in. We are not here to carouse or to cause a ruckus. We are here to do our jobs. I suggest you do yours.
All right, we've had several different tactics here. Do you want to try to charm your way in? I've heard intimidation as well. Does somebody want to intimidate their way in?
Maybe.
I was like, I'm just going to cast a spell in a second.
Yeah,
Probably try
there are
persuading.
spells, but like my point is, I didn't want to like go into the intimidation as a roll unless you were really meaning it, because a failed intimidation roll has consequences.
Yeah. I'm not
So-
like. I'm trying to give the help action. I'm not trying
Sure.
to lead, but the only thing that Ashley knows is intimidating.
alright, sure, I got this. Look, I'm not trying to make any trouble here. We're just gonna take a look around, ask a few questions of none of your normal establishment. I know there's something that's been here very specific for quite some time now that normally would not reside in a country club. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for your staff or your people. We're not gonna cause any ruckus. We're gonna have a good time. Okay?
Make a persuasion check with advantage due to Ashley for me, please.
Sick. Well, thanks. Wow.
He's a prick.
Fucking wild.
House.
Uh,
Not what that means, but still, gonna say it.
well, 19.
19.
I was like, he's
Yes.
thick too. Wow.
He's thick. I imagine
that was a
Ashley is
one.
the-
Yeah,
and a
Ashley
19.
is definitely fit, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got cake.
All right. I was thinking broad in the shoulder, but sure, that too.
I mean,
36,
Um,
24, 36. We just took his measurements.
Yep. So the gentleman looks at you and he says, "Very well, I can give you access to the main facilities themselves. If you are seen elsewhere outside of them, there will of course be trouble. Please do not bother any of our guests. If they approach you, that is acceptable. If you bother them, well, if anybody complains, we will have to ask you to leave."
Oh, of course. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
Certainly.
What's your name again?
My name was Rethgar,
Refgar. Thank you so much, Refgar.
of Clan Roranon.
Roranon.
Thank you.
Do I know
And
anything about
the-
Roranon?
Roranon is the ruling clan of the dwarves, named after the original king of the dwarves.
Gotcha. Thank you.
They are all fancy
During
and think they're better than everybody else, no matter what status in the clan they have.
Is it immediately obvious what the main area is?
So
Or-
you're walking in? I was actually going to have us take our 10-minute break and then walk into the country.
Oh no, I just like, you know,
Yeah, you're at
instead
this.
of asking this NPC like what is and is not off limits. If
Sure.
it's immediately
apparent.
obvious.
There's
Okay.
a big plantation style house.
Ew.
Pillar is what you're in front of. Pillars, a round road leading up to, what is that? A cul-de-sac right in front of it, right? And there's a estate all around it. Estate's maybe not the right word for a country club, but there's land, open land all around it. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
It's clear that you've been given access to the house and not the land.
Cool.
Gotcha.
Cool. Great. That's what
The main
that's all I
facilities.
wanted.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Cool.
Yeah.
We are going to take our 10-minute break and then go into a country club.
See you
Um,
later, alligators.
Thanks so
See
much.
you later, alligators.
See the wild crocodile? Woo.
What?
Now we're muted, yeah.
Dean.
Oh, yay. We had a new person. I like that.
Hashbiel.
Ashbiel.
Brooklyn Italian.
Not muted, it says. Oh, maybe it is now.
Well, yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dice, Strings, and Drama, The Reigns of Rhaan, where we are all apparently heavy metal headbangers today.
Wow, that is the oldest thing you ever said. That is a grandpa. That is a grandpa's grandpa phrase. You just did.
Metal headbang.
Headbangers.
It's
You know the
what
ones.
sometimes random things come out of my mouth, and I just don't know.
Those
I
things you
understand.
need to get off
I said
my
vinegar
lawn.
cucumber less than an hour ago.
That was
Sorry, did you say
inspired.
Benedict cucumber batch?
Benedict
No, vinegar cucumber batch.
Oh.
AKA Mr. Pickle.
Oh.
Pickle
Mr.
Rick.
Pickle.
It's hilarious. He turns himself into a pickle. I can't wait for Doctor Strange 2. Somebody stop me.
Yes.
Doctor
All right,
Strange,
so
is that going to be in Doctor Strange? Is that
Yeah,
gonna-
confirmed. Pickle
Pickle
Rick
Strange?
in Doctor Strange 2.
Oh wow!
Is that
Look,
true?
if it fucking
No,
shows up.
Look, okay, I don't know. I don't know. The worst things have happened in this world.
Space
I don't
Jam
know
exists,
the
guys.
lore.
Space Jam 2
Yeah.
exists.
All right,
You're right.
so speaking of Space Jam 2, Country Club.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
There's golf. Is there golf in Space Jam 2? There wasn't in the
Probably
first one.
think so. Country Club. All right, so uh-oh.
Is there
so,
a halfling named Bill Murray Barry Bramble playing golf somewhere on the
Bugs
course?
the Dragon.
With like one of those dumb fucking umbrella hats?
There are
I
definitely
know
people
exactly.
in lots of dumb clothing, but you're standing in the entryway. You've gone into the first area, and it is this beautiful but soulless, well-manicured house. And I say well-manicured very, very particularly because it's not lived in. There's lots of people coming in and out, and there's a little desk, but it's sterile, right? And there are only a few people in this main lobby. You see that there's a big dining room off to the side, which has a huge, like, whole wing set up for it. There's a pool in the back that you can see that there are some of the wealthy elite of Sharn swimming in. There's a staircase going upstairs. You've been welcomed in, sort of, but have been advised not to speak to anybody. You're not quite sure what you're looking for, but you have the feeling it's probably not going to be in the places that you're allowed to go.
Oh, we're allowed to speak to the help, aren't we?
You can speak to the help.
Yeah,
They
of
didn't
course.
stop you from doing that.
But
And,
we
and
could not call them
absolutely,
the help.
yeah. And there's
The people employed.
there's absolutely lots of them
The
around.
staff.
There's people walking around with trays of champagne. There's greeters. So when you're
And I was like, I do take a.
Yeah,
Nobody told me
absolutely.
oh, and it's ridiculous. When they see, like, you take a sip of it, and it's just incredible. And the wait staff says, "Yes, on Dare 86, one of the finest years." Yeah, as badly as the Ondarians have fucked over the Eldeen Reaches, you got to get some.
Yeah.
of it, right?
Yeah, I take another glass.
Great. And she says, and you can see the staff are divided about 50-50 on you guys. Half of them are horrified that lower class people are allowed here, and then the other half are just sort of like, yes, I would like to give a fancy glass of wine to somebody that is not the assholes I normally
Would
serve.
you like 2? Perhaps 3.
Right, 2, right? And
Yeah.
the champagne lady, who's become far more important than I ever intended for her to, absolutely is in the second faction, right?
Mhm.
And there's definitely greeters. There's people going around. How are you dressed there? Did you change into that? Did you change into that
I have, as soon as I stepped off, I would have imagined the finest set of clothing. Extremely ornate stitching across the entire jacket itself. It's like a light blue, but it's embroidered across the entire existence of it. It's tight, it's well refined. It is like slightly stretchy. It fits me perfectly. And slightly raised heels, because I don't know, I want to be taller.
Yeah. Very masculine. No, heels were designed. Heels were designed for men to make them a little taller. So yeah.
Also, I have
they were designed for Louis.
Well,
specifically for Louis.
Yeah. But then it caught on amongst other men.
Of course. But
sorry, I pictured it being Louis Anderson, and I don't know why.
No, I can't remember which. Was it 13? I don't know. See, now that I've said a number, the internet's going to be like, it was 12. How dare you?
Was it the Sun King? Because I'm pretty sure the Sun King was 14.
Yeah, it was Louis 14. Actually.
So yeah. Anyway, I've got two Louis, 14 and 16. Those are the two I know. 16 because he got beheaded.
You asked me for another fucking Louis? I swear to God,
all right, sorry,
I only have two.
We are
we got
very
Louis the 14. We got Louis the 16.
We're very distractible here at the country club. All right, so there's a kitchen. All right, there's definitely there's rooms to stay upstairs for people that want to stay for several days. There's and then there's all the activities. There's lots of outdoor activities, which theoretically you have been disinvited from. Does that make sense?
Theoretically. But yes,
of course.
So, and you're very noticed. Even with your clothes got you in, but you're just not. You just don't carry yourselves like rich people do, unless one of you is really trying. Does somebody really want to play and pretend? I'm looking at you, Charismas.
I was like, should Foxy? I really don't want to. Like,
you don't have to.
Yeah.
It makes me angry seeing this around here, especially where I'm from and what I've been seeing so far. Kind of pisses me off a little to be in here.
I also agree. In a deep, dark place inside of Theron, I am thinking about all the friends that I had die because of people who are rich who ordered them on the top of battlefields to go do those things. But on the outside, like I said, it's always a masquerade. So I'm gonna give it a shot. That is a 22 in performance.
Great. So Theron, you stand up. You yeah, please.
Glamour
describe.
weave. Does it? Can I like have? It has accoutrement, right? It has like little bits I could take from it.
If you use the glamour
Silver.
weave, I didn't give you the stats in it. I meant to do it during the break. I'm going to give them to you right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cloak of protection.
Okay.
+1 armor class, +1 to all saving throws.
Shit.
Cool.
All right.
And it adds a D4 to social checks.
Oh fuck.
All
right.
If you take an action it takes an action to transform. If you take an action to transform to help with the social check, but the look has to, like, it's not just like whatever you wear, it helps with the social check. If you wear something that supports it, you get a +D4. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. I reach inside my inside pocket and I pull out an extremely elaborate, hand-hammered silver cigarette case and pop it open, and pull. What is the of the normal accepted legal drugs within Eberron? Is tobacco a thing, or is do they have like a pipe weed? Do they
let's say pipe leaf, because tobacco doesn't tend to show up in fantasy things, and I don't think. But pipe.
But it is the 19. We got this Noir thing going. Would it make sense for it to be?
I think either of them is fine.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Then I would love to pop one open and pull out an unfiltered cigarillo.
Great.
Pop them out and light it with a snap of my fingers using. I mean, not firebolt, because that's fucking ridiculous. Where are my? Sorry.
If you
prestidigitation.
I was like, oh, you have it. Okay.
Yeah, prestidigitation.
The internet agreement is that tobacco exists. At the very least, some near facsimile does, but there's no reason for tobacco not to be a widespread crop in Corvair, and I agree. So it is tobacco. Maybe it's called pipeweed sometimes, but it's...
What am I indicating then, Corvair? Can you describe Corvair quickly for me?
Corvair is the continent. The continent.
Sorry.
Brayland
Sorry.
and yeah, it's fine.
My bad.
Yeah, it's fine. Corvair is
There's a lot of different nations, and I
there's
got
a
confused.
lot. No. Corvair is the entire continent.
Gotcha. Thank you.
So the other thing that you would want to change for this performance roll is your accent. Your accent shrieks lower class.
Of course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I noticed
You
this.
also, yeah,
and
that
I'm
I.
going to just whisper in your ear, you go get him, Dagger. And I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on you. Let's see, these are social checks, so it's your charisma I'm going to enhance.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, a little fox's cunning. Never.
No,
how much?
Fox's cunning is intelligence. You're
Oh,
talking about
y-
Eagle's splendor.
a little Ingo Splendor. Never hurt anybody.
I give you a wink, and it's much more effective than it normally would be.
And that's what I wanted to see.
Ashley grabs a finger sandwich.
That's also what I wanted to see.
As this is happening, the help start treating Theron very differently. They
I don't refer to them at all. I look.
there's
I barely make eye contact with them.
You actually notice with your bear noticing that now that there's apparently a nobleman, several of the help, the Majordomo class of help in particular, are talking to each other, trying to figure out who you are, because noblemen of the stature that you clearly are expect to be taken care of. You should be expecting your favorite flowers to be being put out since you've arrived, or your favorite wine to have already been offered to you. Does that make sense? That's sort of that's what you see, all of you with the insight check stuff you made before, see them looking at Theron, trying to figure out where he's from. Theron, are you still a hobgoblin?
Well,
Or no, of course, you didn't use any
yes,
magic. You didn't use any magic. Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Duh.
Wait,
What am I
what?
talking
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
What? Sorry, what?
Ignore. I was thinking disguise self instead of eagle splendor. Forgive me. The clothing casts disguise self, except for your. That's the technical work on it, right?
You know what's funny is I've read Corvair 1,000 times. I've never said it out loud.
Yeah.
And now that I
that's
look
okay.
at it, because I literally went to look at a map just to look at one just now. I was like,
Yeah.
oh fuck yeah, that is the duh. Of
Yeah.
course that's Corvair. Of course
Yeah.
it is.
It's okay. It's okay. So you're also a hobgoblin, which is
Yeah.
weird for nobility, and nobody knows who you could possibly be. Hobgoblins also tend to be poor,
Yes.
right? So you hear the word Dargoon, which is the nation of hobgoblins, mentioned a few times. Does somebody want to try to give them a hint, or does somebody want to? You want to just let them try to figure this out?
Sure. No, not the demon waste. That would be wild. Would it be?
Yeah, nobody lives in the Demon Wastes.
Okay. I mean, yes.
That's okay. I mean, the Carrion tribes live in the in the Demon Wastes, as do the Gashkala orcs and the demons of Ashtakala, but no people. Dargoon is where you would be pretending to be from. You're probably connected. This is too much, but you would be connected with Lesh Haruk.
This is stuff I would know. I was in a ward that the entire world. So it's actually really good for you to explain this, actually.
Great.
I think
So,
for anybody who's watching who's not a Eberron scholar.
So Dargoon is a big nation seized by hobgoblins to the south, once part of Brayland, and Siri, sort of a combination, like pieces from Dargoon would be where you're from. If you're a hobgoblin noble, you would probably want to pretend to know Lesh Haruk. I'll write that in a chat somewhere. Lesh Haruk. And I've never actually said that name out loud. Haruk. Yeah, it's W.
I'm not saying that.
I might have misspelled. That is the leader of Dargoon.
Oh, that's the person. Yes, of course.
Yeah, he's the
my uncle, of course.
Exactly. Would be how exactly.
Yes. I'm just gonna test your knowledge. Do you know what flora are in that area?
It's a desert. So
so it'll be very strong alcohol.
But like,
it'll be okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's like a verdant desert, though, right?
Oh.
Like people, not verdant, but like cacti and.
Gotcha.
It's not desolate. is sort of the
cactus
point I'm
juice.
trying to get to.
Got it.
Does that vibe with your knowledge, Carter?
Oh, no, sure. Yeah, I was raising my hand as not scholar.
Oh, you've run Eberron.
I've run, but I don't know like you do. Like you.
There's a more. There's a
do.
more at the bottom of it, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just throwing that out.
Yeah.
I'm literally looking at the map right now. That's why I'm going.
No,
through
for sure.
Sorry.
For sure.
Eberron map is fun to look at.
this. Yeah.
It is fun to look at.
I would not have thought that as being as a because Valinor I know is a big ass desert.
Yeah. It's Rhaan Dral is where you're from, which is definitely in the desert. That would be the big place. All right.
Yeah,
So
Yep.
eventually, one of the major domos, a woman with black hair slicked back, actually has the same exact hair stylings as Delaria. Right? She comes to you and she says, "I'm so sorry. We weren't expecting you today. We want to make sure your stay is as comfortable and pleasing as possible. So if you could, of course, please let us know what we can do to make your stay more comfortable. We would be ever so grateful."
Oh, I'm here to experience the world as it is now. I'd like to see how you do things here. I'm a bit of a tourist here, of course.
Well, then we'll see to it. We of course have the sentient seafood bar, which is our special
sentient?
for today. Indeed, we
How
have
droll.
some. I agree. Sahuagin eggs with some Locatheth meats. It's truly a delicious display.
Wondrous. I'm so excited to
So please,
partake in your
we will
local delicacies. This is
we'll
amazing.
be very happy to take care of you and your guests. And you're led into the dining area. And it is big and open. And indeed, there's a giant seafood bar, a seafood buffet, and it is all semi-sentient creatures of the deep. There's a mermaid tail. There are giant Sahuagin roe. There's steamed Locatheth.
Should I not eat the mermaid tail?
Don't eat the mermaid tail. Don't. If you fucking eat a mermaid tail, I swear to God.
No, I won't eat it.
Oh my. So, you guys just eat these sentient beings? That's like a thing you do?
Well, it is acquired legally, of course. The creatures of the Thunder Sea are not covered by any of our international contracts, and so perhaps it is a little uncouth to some, but a delicacy is a delicacy, and though I have never had the exquisite opportunity to taste any of this finery, those who have agree that there are few things more delicious.
Well, I would say that. So, of course, yeah, definitely. I'm looking. So, I'm not looking to eat something exciting. I'm thinking like, I don't know. I want to experience something pulse pounding. Like, so there's. Do you have any like living creatures here? Something that's like scary and fun?
To eat?
No, just to see. I mean, I'm not hungry right now. I mean, I'm a bit peckish. Maybe I'll have a tail or something.
I believe that the occasional creatures brought onto the grounds for sport, I can ask around and see if
Was
any such
anything
thing...
like, I don't know, like the past couple days? I want something fresh, something new.
Certainly, but please have a seat in the meantime.
Of course.
And
thank
yes, you take a look around the room, and it becomes immediately apparent that you are being watched and looked at. One of the other tables, there's a large gentleman. Her suit's got a big beard, lots of hair tied back, smoking a big cigar, tobacco, and he looks, and he's appraising you, and he's clearly got an idea of who you are, and he whispers to one of the help. And they're looking and they're talking about you, Theron.
I'm literally just
meanwhile-
gonna walk over and sit at the table with him.
Great. The rest of you, are you
This is
going to
the
the
character
bar or
I've
staying
chosen.
seat?
I'm staying with you, mainly to keep concentration on this one.
Absolutely, thank you.
I am making small talk with Champagne Girl, and
Nice.
just like not like she has a job to do, and Ashley is so totally oblivious that he is kind of getting her in trouble by continuing to speak to her.
Right? Yes, I got that. I love that.
Do you
Delaria?
play Conqueror? Have you ever? Is there a set, a Conqueror set? You must have beautiful pieces.
Of course, there's one in the drawing room. Can I direct you there?
Oh yes, no, come sit, play. Have you ever played before? I would love to teach you.
Poor Champagne Girl. So Foxy
Please
and
ask the
Baron.
name.
No, what is your name, by the way?
Alicia.
Ooh, good name.
Oh, Alicia. Okay. Just Alicia. I am just Ashley.
They don't tend to want our surnames here.
I am not your usual. Am I not? So please
it is
be a person.
Alicia Understone.
Understand. A beautiful name. I'm Ashley Goodenot, Conqueror, champion of the city of Sharn.
Oh, you've mentioned that game several times.
I'm sorry, it is the Ontarian bubbly. It affects me. It lights my passion, and I am, if not passionate about anything, I am passionate about Conqueror. Have you played before? You have not.
I'm sure we can find you another player. I do.
Oh no, Alicia, it is you. I must play you. I sense a fire, a conqueror within you, and I wish to awaken it.
She gives a look to. She gives this helpless look to a gentleman in a suit, and the gentleman in the suit looks at her, shrugs a little, looks at a time watch, taps it, and then gestures. And she says, "Maybe a quick game."
Lovely.
And you go to
I
the
will
drawing
warn
room.
you, there is no such thing.
You go to a drawing room filled with people and begin to play.
What if Ashley loses twice in one day? Oh my god.
All right.
I'll rage. I will rage in this country club if I lose.
Oh god. Ooh, now you made John make you want to lose. That'll be very
I'll
interesting.
put it on the line.
I'll
wager.
So.
Wager rage.
You're walked over. Theron and Foxy are walked over to this table, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the man behind it, he's got a big cigar, and it's the smoke smell from it is far sweeter and nicer than you're used to from tobacco. It must be a very fancy tobacco. He's got several other people around him, and he says, "I've been wanting to talk to these folks for some time. So shoo. We'll talk again later. Mr. Jackson, if I'm not mistaken, yes?
Oh. I guess my reputation precedes me.
And the ever-lovely Miss Foxy. Hello.
I'm sure.
My name is Noan Earlacia. There are a few people in the city that haven't heard of me, and I'm certain that you are not among them.
No, you're right. I'm not among the people who have not heard of you. Of course.
You had a very convincing upper-class accent, I must say. Very impressive. But, no, I'm pleased to see that you see no need for formalities here. Sit. Can I get you anything? Some of the finest Carnathy whiskey, a blood pudding. The sentient seafood bar is particularly excellent.
I'll take some whiskey. I'd love to have a drink with you. I've heard
Please.
many things about your great works across the city.
Certainly. Sommelier, can you get me both a bottle of Fairhaven Red and a 15-year aged Corth whiskey? Thank you. Those are both the capital of Ondare and Karnath. You are and indeed some multi-$100 bottles of alcohol are brought over. And he says, "It's been some time I've been hoping to talk to you, and it surprises me to see you here, but, you know, an opportunity strikes. So,
Of course.
let's chat, shall we? I would like Foxy and Theron to make perception checks.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Perception plus. What is Delaria doing? I missed that.
I think Delaria,
What is
Delaria,
doing?
what did you say you were doing? I thought I had you at the table still. That's where you are in my
I
brain.
didn't say anything.
Oh,
Valeria's done nothing.
okay.
Valeria's just chilling.
Delarius, do you want to join them at the Lacia table, or do you want to go to the seafood bar? Do you want to watch Ashley play Conqueror and make sure he doesn't get into too much trouble?
Oh no, I'm absolutely gonna find. Valeria's absolutely gonna find the, like, most suspicious looking oldest person in this room.
Cool.
Like, hands down.
Sure. Make a
Just talking way too much.
And you're talking to them?
No, I'm gonna find them and listen.
Sure. Roll a perception check for me, too.
Look.
But it's a different one.
I agree with this. Old people in any situation just
I
find
got a
an
0.
excuse.
You get a 0?
Yep.
Um,
I don't pay attention to anything.
yeah. What do the rest of you got?
I am an 18.
Lovely. Theron?
Oh, I got a 12.
12? All right. Foxy,
Mm-hmm.
your eyes are drawn to his right hand, and on his right ring finger is a band of gold that looks almost exactly like the silver band that was worn by Octavia, except in gold. Plain and non-ostentatious, especially compared to any other jewelry that he's wearing. It would be masculine, it wouldn't be over the top, but like his other stuff would be studded with gems. He would have cufflinks with diamonds in them, right? And but this band sticks out to you
Yeah.
in the same way. And he says, sit, of course. And
Well, I've already sat. Thank you
Oh,
so
yes,
much
it
for the
is.
gesture.
Of course. So, now, obviously we have some things to discuss. Would you like to go first?
Sure. I mean, well, what? Actually, no. You go first. I ain't nothing to say.
Certainly. And he cuts off a slice of Sahuagin roe, Sahuagin egg, and slurps it down. And he says, now, obviously there's an ugly business here with the Otanes, and you have been tasked with coming to the other side of it. Yes? Figuring out what's going on. Now, if you succeed, you'll be making what? 10, 12,000 gold pieces, something like that?
Something like that.
yes. Yeah.
And if you fail, you'll be making what? Nothing?
That's right.
Something like
What a terrible risk for you all. I imagine that such a sum of gold pieces would make a great deal of difference to your families. Both of your families. And I think it's a devilish game of Octavia to play. Playing with the heartstrings and purse strings of the lower classes. I think it's, well, villainous, if you ask me, to dangle you like this. So I would like to make a very simple, very friendly offer. If you all agree to give up this foolish errand, I will happily give each of you 4,000 gold pieces.
Now, I want to make this clear really quickly. Why do you want us to stop looking for a murderer?
Out of the sheer goodness of my heart, of course.
Well, if it was goodness for
I
your
hate-
heart, you could just pay for us anyway. $4,000 each, we find the killer, and it's done, isn't it?
He smiles warmly and he says, "Well, I suppose that could be the case, but you'd be ruffling so many feathers, causing so much problem, and who's to say that you would ever discover it regardless? I think it would be much simpler for you to simply accept this money, no questions asked, and go about your ways."
As simple as that ring on your finger, yes? It's very interesting. I think I remember Octavia having something similar to that, yes? Something in silver.
Make an insight check, both of you at the table.
That's a 19.
Also a 19.
His eyes darken a little bit, and he says, "A coincidence, I'm sure."
He's
lying!
What was your relationship with Octavia, the late Octavia?
Personally, not very much. I've never gotten along with her family, the one she married into, incidentally. I have no issues with her. I have a dislike for Celeria Irtain, the Ice Queen of Shaw. I have a dislike for Haas, who is a hot-blooded rabble-rouser. And, Octavia, well, besides supporting my political rival, I've never had anything personally against her, no. Why do you ask?
Well, you see, we're on a job. And that's part of the job, is to ask our questions.
Well, good news. As I've previously stated, there's no need for you to continue asking questions. You will be able to live the high life for the rest of your lives with the money that I've offered, and neither you nor yours need to concern yourself with the trials and tribulations of the upper class for another minute.
Well, would you mind if we brought this to our other brethren? Of course.
So,
This is not a decision that we could make. Of course, I don't want to end our conversation early, though. There's much more to talk about, isn't there? Isn't there?
Oh.
Hello?
Tornado!
Oh.
Oh no! This is good. We'll just keep talking to him like he's pausing and really feeling this. So, Ty, where'd you get it?
Tell me.
What a wild
everything
tie
you know.
you have around your neck. Is that given to you by someone very special in your life? Similar to that ring on your finger? Whatever. Looks like we're onto something.
On to something ice cold, it seems.
Oh.
Something.
Whoops.
Alright, guys, we're gonna go to intermission because our DM disappeared. We'll be back shortly, hopefully.
But no, I want to talk to chat about all their catering choices.
Move to your left.
Oh no.
There you are. Now you can
You
talk
saw
to
the
chat.
poop.
Oh no, they saw the poop.
You're not
Hi,
allowed
everybody.
to see the poop.
Let's just put on the fun music. And it's been a while since we have fucking technical difficulty, hasn't it? Wow. Welcome,
Wait,
everybody.
Is there an actual tornado?
It was a tornado watch. I hope it didn't actually happen. He lives in Brooklyn, so I
No,
wouldn't
watch means it happened. Wait. Oh,
New
no,
York City?
warning.
know. No, it's,
Yeah,
Oh
warning.
no,
is
no, it happens in New York City. I'd
Really?
like to be.
It happens. I mean,
What consists of an evil buffet? And please read the chat.
Everything in that chat.
Oh
Was
yes, but like
genius. My favorite
what's
is
your-
the biscuits made by underprivileged children who were not allowed to eat any of the ingredients and then immediately shooed from the factory once they were done.
that just sounds
Those
like
have gotta just taste
it
delectable.
just sounds like
they are
Oreos.
good.
Like it just sounds like regular food in the U.S. Welcome,
Nabisco.
welcome to capitalism. Day off Twitch, y'all.
Yeah.
Fucking protest.
His Wi-Fi's out. he said.
Shit. Well, hopefully
Yeah.
I'll come back
Alrighty.
soon.
I mean, that's
No, if it's out,
it's
we're-
not a bad cliffhanger,
No, it isn't.
all things considered.
No, it's not. I still think it'd be fun to hang out for a minute.
No.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
You know.
I'm still gonna sit around in my little corner here that I'm stressing myself to fit
Ooh.
into.
Hawaiian rolls.
So yeah, Hawaiian. I was gonna say Hawaiian rolls. I have a lot of thoughts
Fuck yeah,
about
Hawaiian
those.
rolls.
Everybody knows that if
gosh.
you're ever invited to one of these parties, you drink every ounce of champagne you can, because it'll go out
Oh.
first.
Be back.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Cool,
We had
hold on,
a-
let's be here.
All the discussion of the storm and everything. We had a power flicker here. Everything turned off and turned back on, and I guess it just took my internet like 4 or 5 minutes to get back.
That's okay. I'm gonna write down the time so I know where to edit.
Oh, you're not just gonna let it live as itself online?
Fuck no. I mean, yeah, this is how VODs live, but usually when I edit, I write down times when mistakes
Yeah, but
happen.
heavy yawns. We're not Dorothy. We can't commit to that.
What time is it? 2:18. 18.
Are we not live?
Oh, no, we're live.
We're
We're
live.
live.
Okay. Hello,
Yeah, you're here.
everybody.
Yeah, no, you were here this whole
I've
time,
been
dude.
talking to them the
Yeah,
whole
we've been talking
time.
to the whole time.
Oh,
This
could
is
you
we're
see
just
me?
yeah. We're just keeping it flowing.
What do we
Oh.
call the knee funny bone? Like,
Hmm?
you need something like
The
when you
knee?
get that
Your
weird.
kneecap.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you get the little tingle from it in the same way you get it from the
Right.
actual funny bone.
Oh.
It's called if you guys can't come up with one in like a minute.
A knee slapper?
Oh,
Good
right
one.
in my knee slapper.
Hey, I
All
tried.
right. So we were mid conversation with Laisha, right?
Mm-hmm.
219. So what I had said was, I think this conversation, sure, I should bring that to them, but is this conversation over? There's more to be said.
Well, I would think that would be amongst the final things that would need saying. He seems genuinely surprised that you didn't jump on this and assume all of your friends would jump on it as well. Right?
Look, if this is the Sean Watch we're dealing with, of course we would take that immediately. But some of us have lost their positions here, specifically due to your directions. So, things have changed.
I don't think any amount of money is going to amount to the happiness I will feel when I get to tell little Jaquette exactly who killed her mother.
I see, he says. How very unfortunate. Well, then I suppose that there is more conversation to have. I imagine you have questions for me, and I shall, of course, aid justice in whatever manner I am capable of doing so.
We just want to make sure that whoever caused Jaquette and Octavia severe problems is face justice. We bear no allegiance to anyone else that you may have problems with.
Certainly. Well, then, of course, I can talk to you. Would you like to hear about my political campaign that is happening in Lower North Edge? I imagine that directly affects you, Miss Foxy.
Yes, I've heard a lot about your opposition, actually, not a bunch about you.
Well, I'm trying to bring a little bit more civility and, frankly, humanity to Lower North Edge. There was a time when that district was undesirable, and therefore property values dropped, and therefore it was quite easy to get to sell land there, and that's how, well, so many shifters ended up in Lower North Edge. But now, times are changing, the last war is over, people want to move back to the big city, and suddenly, so much of our real estate is full of undesirables. So, my job, if I were to be elected city councilor of Lower North Edge, would be to raise property values, make it so people of worth and bearing and carriage can move back in as they were prior to the last war and prior to so many people leaving. I want to restore it to its former grandeur.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, Foxy is this close to jumping over the table, so maybe it's good for Thera to be talking.
Yeah, that.
Sure. Oh, I found it. Sorry, I literally didn't realize this was at my desk. It is. Cool.
Do you have a
Peter cigarette.
prop cigarette?
Of course I
A
do.
prop? Oh, I love
I've
that.
had this since I was fucking 16. Anyway. I'm so glad I have a use for it.
What? Oh yeah, it does things.
Yeah,
You
it
can
does.
even
It
find the
pops.
video of Zeke dancing with it on
No,
on
that's
YouTube.
a regular cigarette. I'm
And-
cool.
And
Anyway.
let's
Anyway,
let's
back to
be
this.
clear,
Hmm.
Miss Foxy.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a hardworking citizen that earns their keep and is of use to society, you should more than be able to afford the rising cost of living in Lower North Edge. This is simply going to remove those who are parasites in society.
Well, then it's a good thing I'm keeping my job, huh?
You would be able, with 4,000 gold pieces, to get a far nicer place for you and your daughter to live in a far nicer part of town.
That's
All right.
so interesting that you had mentioned my daughter. How much more digging have you done on us?
I am a man of means, a member of the nobility. I have known about all of you since the moment that Octavia first walked into Ashley's office.
Why do
You've
you
been watching her for that long, eh?
Because it is important to know what is happening in the city. Knowledge is power.
And so, were you watching on the night of her murder? Where were your eyes then?
He leans back and he says, watching other things.
Watching other things.
Hello?
How important were those things that, How important
Ah.
were those things? Where'd it go?
I don't know.
I
Oh,
think
Oh, I see what's happening.
the camera is the phone.
Yes, I see.
okay. Got
What
it.
am I?
You're
Or Zeke.
accidentally doxing yourself online.
I'm
Zeke, you're verbal. We can hear you.
Zeke, you're not muted.
At least they didn't say the apartment number, like the
There
building
is it.
number.
Yeah.
Like, at least I'll just talk over Zeke if Zeke ends up doing that. Zeke, now you have to get it.
All right.
yeah.
Today is
so,
wild. Today is just wild. All right. What were you?
No,
what were
I
you
was
saying?
I was muted. I swear to God, I just
You
had
were
a whole
not. No, you
conversation
were not.
muted. I'm really sorry, guys.
It's
That was very frustrating. I feel very unprofessional. Sorry. That was.
Welcome to
spent-
YouTube
Oh
Day.
no! And there goes my
Day of
camera.
insanity. All right. So
And also, hi, welcome to another.
this
warning.
Laisha conversation has been like cut into so many pieces.
Oh. Okay.
Foxy,
you
let's
were
go-
muted in the stream, just not in Zoom.
Oh, just not on us. Okay.
It was muted for everyone else. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
It was muted
Good.
for everyone else.
Good.
It was just for you guys. I'm sorry.
We just couldn't
That's
tell.
okay. Yeah.
We didn't know.
Yes.
So, Foxy, what was your question? Where were your eyes? Where were your eyes?
Yeah, where were your eyes? Somewhere else. And what was so important that you had to take your eyes off of Octavia that day?
Octavia had returned home, and I do not spy at people within their homes. I have
Spied on
people.
me at mine.
I have people outside on the streets. I have people that are watching. You know exactly how this works. This is your business.
Exactly.
I have my own inquisitives, and they have not broken into any people's homes. So as far as I was concerned, Octavia was safe at home, and there was no reason to watch her until she left again the following morning.
Like a guardian, eh?
You might say so.
So, if I were to look into your financial relationship with Octavia, nothing strange would come up?
While our families have business dealings, I have not had anything personal. And if you remember, the Laishas and the Tanes are at economic war.
No,
They're
yeah.
not. There's no violence or anything, but and there was nothing personal. You've not picked up anything. You've seen Octavia's records.
Uh-huh.
nothing between them.
Nothing that states him specifically, but there were several payments made to the Dagger River Country Club.
Correct.
I'm not here. I'm just a gentle
No, but that's worth
angel on your shoulder.
And you could bring that up if you wanted, but that might be laundered money to him, perhaps.
Who owns the Dagger River Country Club? Do we know that?
No. It is not a matter. We'll say you looked into it. Not a matter of public record.
Very, very interesting. So,
is this your establishment? Is this your place? Quick question.
My place. I have some ownership of it, but not entirely. No. This is a place for a very select few. I'm in fact shocked that you were able to get in at all.
wow.
Well,
Helps
I
when you
mean,
look the part.
yeah, you look the part, you know someone else who is part of that select few. It's not as hard to get in. As you would.
His eyes flash a little and say, "Worth noting, I shall have to talk to the gentleman at the front door."
I think you shouldn't. There is $4,000 on 4,000 gold on the line. Maybe you should let somebody live their life and do their job. If we had not been here, perhaps you had not gotten away or had the opportunity to deal with a situation that you see opening up in front of you.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Hmm?
15.
Great. He says, "Very well.
Did you
I
add
won't.
your eagle splendor shit?
Oh, I could also add that. Do I need to?
Something better happens on a 20.
Cool, then I'll add a... I mean, it would be a +4, correct, at most?
No, Eagle Splendor is with advantage.
Advantage.
Oh, with advantage. Then I shall roll again. 16. Sorry.
16? It's fine. So he'll say, "Very well." And he motions over to one of the major demos. And he says, "See that whoever's at the door is suspended for a week without pay, but ensure that they'll have their job when it comes. Let them know that it's because they are letting in riffraff."
Mr. Elisha, can I ask you one final personal question?
You may certainly ask, my dear.
Who do you think did it?
Well, I'm not privy to everything going on, but I know that Octavia had herself involved with non-human lowlifes, and the implication, of course, is the two of you included. And I can't help but imagine that one of her dealings finally got the better of her. She was associating with dangerous types. You play lower-class games, you win lower-class prizes.
Speaking of lower class prizes, excuse me, I have a few questions that I was supposed to ask. Excuse me, miss, I had asked if there was something recent here, something fun to see. Was there anything?
No one looks at her expectantly, and she says,
Ignore this fucking fine fellow. I love him. He's so fun.
No one tilts his head, and she says, "Well, on loan until this evening, we have a Gorgon."
Oh, that's so exciting.
It's
Why did you get a Gorgon? They're not from around here, are they?
It's I'm not personally privy to.
Oh,
and
it's okay. Come on, do we want to go to the side so this little wet cloth won't get in trouble? You didn't tell me. It's fine.
Leisha
Can't she?
says,
And I looked at him in the face.
and Leisha says, "It does seem our conversation is over, and I do have to get back to business with my associates. Do consider my offer.
Yeah,
It
can
will
I?
go much better for you than the alternative."
Of course. Can I find you later? that okay?
You know where everyone knows where my estates are. One in Upper Central, of course, and the other in North Edge itself. That's why I'm able to run for office.
Well, I didn't expect you to invite me to a house so early, then, did I?
He's vastly unamused.
That makes it even more fun for me.
Yeah, no, I know. If when your people are ready, perhaps we can bring the Gorgon out to the grounds and you can inspect it, sir.
Yeah, I'd love to.
All right. Meanwhile, Ashley, play your game. Roll with advantage. She's
I have one question, and it's way too late. But Zeke, did you have that D4 from your glamour weave to your persuasion attempt?
I did not. I was going to, but
Because you had a 16, and if you had
you're right.
rolled the 4.
Let me roll a 4 on that. Roll a 4.
Did you roll a 4?
4.
Oh,
I did. I did roll a 4. So that's a 20.
So mild retcon.
Wonderful.
The only mild retcon is that he doesn't call it in at all. On a 10 to 15, on a 10, they were fired. 10 less than 15 rather. On a 15, they were suspended for a week, and on a 20, nothing.
Looking out for that guy's job.
No, yeah.
I forgot his name.
He was,
Rethgar or something. But...
Rethgar, yes. He was a jerk to you, but good for you. There's some good karma there. There's some good karma there.
He doesn't need to lose his job over us. Also, I got a 23 because I'm
23?
mad that I lost yesterday.
So you have literally beaten her by a factor of 20.
Jesus, you just wrecked this.
Do you want to crush her?
No.
What
I want to do with my 23 is nearly go to draw in every opportunity. There's a very clear equivalent of a checkmate, and I just intentionally blunder and don't take it so that the game continues and goes longer and longer and longer. So it seems... No!
Playing with this port.
So, you see something rather interesting.
Okay.
Maybe you do. Can you roll me a perception check with advantage? You've got so long to make this perception check. That's why I'm giving you advantage.
See? I have a +3, so that's an 18.
An 18? Great. You notice that there are occasionally people walking up to another hallway, and they don't return from that hallway after any length of time. And you lean over to catch a look when one of them walks through, and there's another set of doors. But they go to one of the doors, and they hold up their right hands to the edge of the door. And then it seems to open of its own accord. They do not return from the other side of that door.
With an 18 in perception, do I happen to notice a very simple single band that's maybe made of silver or gold on their hands?
Yes. This time, so you wait for the next one, because where they are doing it is too far for that to be seen.
Cool.
But you wait until the next person walks up, which takes some time. It's only one every 30 minutes, right? But when the next one does, you do indeed see they have a simple silver band on their right hand, and that seems to be what they're showing to the side of the door.
Interesting. Oh, that is how could I not see that? You are very good. You are quite the natural, I must say. Is there more champagne?
Yes. And she goes and gets champagne, and I really should be.
Oh, no. Thank you for humoring me. It was incredibly hospitable of you. I will tell, I will not tell any of my friends to come here because clearly they will be thrown out. But I will brag about how good the service was. And I have quite never in my life been pampered thus. And I was raised by 9 witches. So. Nine,
that's wonderful. Champagne. And and she goes back to her job. We'll say it's at this point that the Laisha conversation is finished. Delaria, you have been quiet, and I know that you're in a quiet mood. Do you have anything else you'd like to do? Is there anybody you'd like to interact with? Are you eating from the seafood buffet?
I'm definitely not eating from the seafood buffet. I am right involved in about how long has passed, probably, with all this action?
Half an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm in the beginning parts of a certain person's monologue at the moment. They seem to be rather old.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no one? No one's in his 60s.
No,
yet.
Oh, I meant anyone.
Oh, just some random person?
Yes.
I'm literally imagining the grandma from Knives Out.
Yeah, that's definitely what I'm hoping for.
Old.
Yes.
Sure.
Saw everything.
Oldest person is seated out in the lovely sun. They are in a wheelchair. They are half viewing the pool, and the other half is the glorious garden and hedge maze nearby, right? And she is there practically mummified, but when you get closer, you see that her eyes are moving. She's definitely watching the swimmers, definitely looking and not saying a word at the beautifully crafted garden.
Delaria probably just sits down. Just keeps her company for a while.
You're a tiefling.
Yes?
Means you got devil blood in you. Was it your ma or pa?
Don't actually know. What do you think?
I don't know. Haven't met much tieflings.
When was the last time you met a tiefling?
87? 88?
What were they like?
Devilish. Little horns and a tail. Fun, though.
I was gonna say, that sounds more like a physical descriptor, but fun. What'd you do that year?
I was in my early 80s, still young and spry.
So, who are you related to at this function?
My name is Miriam Irlacia. And my good-for-nothing son is doing business, but luckily I get to come to this club and look at the little swimmers in their little booty shorts and look at the garden, and it's better than sitting at home.
So you got a range of things to look at. I understand. Has anyone been bothering your son lately?
Everything bothers my son. He'd hate you. You're not human.
Oh, see, I don't know where he would have got that from, because clearly you're a fan of tieflings.
Yes. Well, my family never was, but I always thought that interesting people were interesting, you know?
Yes, so I imagine you're also an interesting person yourself. How'd you end up, is the estate your particular?
I got too old to be useful anymore, and they cut me out of everything. The family business, everything. I think that age makes you smarter, but they didn't think so.
Yeah, I definitely disagree with them on that. Seems as though a few of my friends were invited to this party as well. A little less inconspicuous, I guess, a little bit less distracting than myself in some ways. And it seems like there might be a little bit of trouble. I imagine you. How do you feel about gossip?
Gossip? I love gossip!
And
do you know something that's juicy and dirty? Tell me. Come close and tell me so nobody can hear.
And as she waves you over with her right hand, you see a gold ring, plain and unfashioned, on her right hand.
Alrighty. I'm gonna ask if she wants anything to drink or possibly to eat at the moment. And
cranberry juice will help with my urinary tract infection.
Oh, I get those too. I absolutely understand. I always get really dehydrated, then I don't stand up when I work, and
Yes.
then it ends up being a whole thing.
Don't give me any alcohol or I'll die.
Well, if you did die, I am mortician. That's not a threat. I'm just saying, like.
You're a
things would be-
mortician? You work
Yeah.
with dead bodies?
Yeah, so like, if I find you, it wouldn't be the worst.
Please don't kill me.
I have no interest in killing you.
I didn't think you did. You seem
All
like a
right.
nice young girl.
Alrighty, I'll see you in a second. And then I'm
Right.
gonna go in and find Ashley, but I am gonna get her cranberry, and I'm gonna make sure that it's the biggest cranberry juice I can get.
Great. This is wonderful. You're faster than the help.
She says. All right, so the four of you are released of your entanglements, yes, and are meeting back near
Barely.
the sentient seafood bar. Yeah. Who do you want to talk to? What do you want to do? You have an invitation. They're bringing the Gorgon out to a pen. You could go do that.
I've requested it.
Do you?
I mean, yes. I mean, I'm playing a character. I'm giving everyone else space to do other things.
Cool.
That's sort of my thing, is I'm distracting the help in
Sure.
certain ways. And also finding out things by being...
No, for
asking
sure.
questions, of course.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
I've casually befriended the matriarch due to our bond with UTIs. So if I know she had one of those rings as well. You know the one on Octavia?
Yeah.
Yes, I've
So-
learned something quite interesting about
What's that?
these rings. There is a hallway with a set of doors tucked away, not hidden but inconspicuous. And on these doors, I do not know where they lead, but they only open for someone who raises their right hand and has such a ring on it. The doors open, they enter. I have not seen one leave, and I played quite a long game of Conqueror. I was playing one round the whole time, just watching, waiting.
So the
Is there any difference between these rings between Octavia's, or are they all plain silver rings?
Well, they seem to all be silver, correct?
You've seen some gold as well.
Some gold.
Hers
Gold.
gold.
There are silver and gold, it would seem. More silver is more frequent.
Huh. Interesting.
Actually, at that doorway, you would have seen a few copper ones as well.
Oh, it seems that
Sorry.
they run the gamut. Copper, silver, gold.
I
Gold,
see.
and in, precisely.
Do we have to get a variety? Do we have to like gather them all up and like put them all together again?
Well,
You notice anything on
One of those fancy books?
You notice anything on
Curious.
Haas? Was Haas wearing a ring like that? Did we notice that?
Huh?
Haas was not.
Interesting.
That's probably what she's making payments for, is for the super exclusive Eyes Wide Shut club, as Damn Fine Kept Streaming has been calling it in the chat.
Quite possibly, maybe we should find a way to slip that ring.
So, I would argue not slipping the ring that I've got eyes on.
We could. Oh no.
I
Never
suggest
mind.
an allyship.
Oh, you think you can get back there without that?
Yeah.
I think you
She's
should.
bored. She's not really like her son's cut her out of his life. If anything, I imagine there's a little bit of vitriol. She's also kind of not like what I imagine he would be like, if that makes any sense. Without necessarily saying it out loud. She's not a hateful prick.
Ah, yes.
And I
And I
think that's
feel
a
like
great ally.
that
We should
could
slip that
be a
ring.
good way of, everyone else here seems a little bit on edge, and maybe taking Lady for a little bit of a walk around might do her some good.
I
She
agree.
needs an adventure.
I think I'm gonna go take a look at this Gorgon. and try to figure out why it's here. If I don't,
Yeah,
if you see
I'll
me
go
as a
with you.
statue in the lawn, I've done something wrong.
Yes. Perhaps we should come with. I get the sense from this ring business that this is a one-person journey. Perhaps two, if, say, someone were to escort an elderly matron through the doors and were absolutely needed. But, Deliria, you must use the utmost caution. I am worried that crossing that threshold bars steep consequences.
What, am I gonna get killed?
Potentially, yes. That is what
Okay.
I'm saying.
It's fine.
Okay.
Is it
well,
fun? Maybe.
So
Do I have anything to go home to? No. So
Well, you could,
oh,
you know.
Theron, make sure to mention to Ashley and
Oh, yeah.
Delaria.
So, I will say that the Alatias have offered us a steep fee to forget this ever happened. 4,000 gold each.
oh no, I'm definitely going in the basement.
That is highly suspicious.
I agree.
His name is Non, not Nonce, right?
Noan, yes.
No one.
Okay. Because I've already made the joke.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust him either. I think it seems very suspicious. I don't know if he's necessarily the person themselves, but he could view this as exposing his current world. Something that he's planning on doing, and then we're getting in the way of.
Yes.
That's what I see happening more than anything else.
So this, to me, implies some sort of entanglement. Not that I doubt he would be directly involved in this murder. To offer to bribe us is clearly suspicious. So perhaps there is something tangential to this murder. Maybe something on the other side of those doors that he does not want getting out.
Maybe so.
All I'm saying is I'm happy to be on the other side of the stores.
Well,
What's gonna happen to me? Like if I'm with her, I'm probably gonna be fine.
And stay close to her side.
stay incredibly close to her, but also know that if she has been cut out of affairs, there is a strong chance that there will be no sympathy for the woman who needs the help.
Well, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, she might look kind of tiny, but she might be able to take her own in a fight as well.
She's 93.
If Shauna understands what I'm suggesting,
I don't know that I do.
Sorcerer.
I will message you.
Magic.
Okay, great. Great. She does not look like she is currently in a state to fight anything. Sure. She does not have one of those. She is not that.
It would have
she's
been an
not that person.
opportunity.
I agree, and now I want to introduce one because I do love them. It's just this is an old lady. The offer for our listeners was combat wheelchair, which I love, but just not for this old lady. But you should go back and check in with her about getting the
Of course
ring
I
or
am.
something. I love that.
Oh, no, I'm still hanging out with her. That does not deter me at all.
Great.
She could have been in a rocking chair, and I still would have been her best friend.
Mm-hmm. So, are you? So, the woman, the major domo female, black hair, pulled back, says, "Sir, your Gorgon experience is ready."
Oh, wonderful! I'm so excited to see it. Please take me. Is anyone else coming?
Where are you going?
Gorgons are incredibly powerful, and I do not trust the security of this establishment. I will protect you,
you don't want to
sir.
live your life on the.
It is my job to look after you.
You know what? Honestly,
Sir.
I almost turned
Sometimes-
stone yesterday, so let's just make it 2 days in a row.
Well, I think the intention is that the two of them are going off to be distracting so that you and Foxy can stay around and be spies.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Well-
wasn't quite sure where I was going.
I'm
sorry.
clinky and clunky and big.
Well, come on.
I don't get to sneak into places.
Come along, my big, tall, strong,
Sure, we're safe.
bubbling figure, and walk with me. Protect me.
You could call me
Show me what it's
Ashley,
like.
or your bodyguard.
Maybe you should come up with a different name. Or you?
Ashley is my last name.
Oh, god damn. Okay, Mr. Ashley.
Yes.
I'm going to
Wait.
character sheet.
All right, so you go off. You're going to visit the Gorgon, which we'll do in a minute. Foxy, are you joining? Are you joining Delaria, or is it just Delaria going back to Miriam?
I was just going to hang out in the back and keep an eye on things.
Great. So you return, and she says, and you see that she has done a little bit of turning and has been watching you from inside. And as you're coming back, she's slowly, wheeling it back into the position it was in before, and then waits for you to arrive. And she says,
You're friends with a shifter. My son hates shifters. I don't see what the big deal is.
Okay. I was gonna say, I was like, you could have prefaced that into like a reverse order and been like, I have no problem with shifters, but my son, he's a little shit. Like that could have been the way that was communicated.
Yeah, back in my day, we cared about nationalities. If somebody was Carnathy, we'd hit him over the head with a broom. Now it's all about Warforged, shifters, changelings. Meh, meh, meh. Everybody just wants to find somebody else to hit over the head.
So who do you want to hit over the head?
Meh! Young
What?
people.
Which one's first?
The ones who don't know how good they have it.
So I have a proposition.
Eh?
Want to go around this entire estate and be condescending to very small people?
I don't usually do that. But you want me to be mean to young people?
Well, if that's what you want to do, if that's what really lights your fire, we can go with that.
I mean, it's better than what I've done, and I'll get to say I got to get carted around by a lovely tiefling woman, and no one back home will believe me.
Alrighty. Well, we can do just that.
Great. So we'll assume that this happens. You have a lovely time walking around, and she goes,
Your pants are ugly!
and stuff like that to people. And
I hate whoever did your hair. You should fire them.
and stuff like that. And then as you go around the corners from people, and nobody can say anything because she's probably one of the wealthiest people here, technically. And she goes,
I haven't felt alive like that since, well, I don't know. But we never do fun things here. I just mostly get to watch people swim and play in the garden. And wish it was me.
Well, we can do something about that, maybe. But the first question I have is there a reason why they cut you out?
I became too old for them, and no longer useful.
and as she says that, she moves her arms for one of the first times, and she touches the ring as she says useful, and then puts it back.
I kind of noticed you did a little thing there. Is there a reason why? Is that ring important to something? I'm not a big fan of jewelry, if you can't tell, but
She looks at you for a second. Can you make a persuasion check for me?
because she really is being as honest as she can be. She really just wants to know. I'm on Ashley's character sheet instead of my own because I want to see.
Why are you on my
Because
character
I wanted to
sheet?
see if you listed your height there. I wanted to see if we were actually the same height.
No, I didn't have to because he's my height. He's 6'2". I've said this canonically.
I got a 12.
12? Great. She'll say,
I was wondering if you knew. I was one of the people that made sure if you had money, you could get in.
What?
Are you wealthy, Miss Delaria? Did you say your name yet? Are you wealthy, young woman?
No, I didn't say my name. Well, distant family's wealthy, but I went into the war instead. Whole thing.
If you went to the war, your family is not wealthy enough for what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
and she seems to make a decision. And she says, "You're not here for fun and games. You're here to cause trouble."
What kind of trouble?
I don't know. You tell me.
We're actually just trying to find out why a friend of ours passed away. That's the only reason why we're here.
Looking for skeletons in the closet. I see.
Well, corpses. She's not necessarily a skeleton yet, but
Mortician humor.
yeah, it definitely beats gallows humor.
She slowly and carefully moves over and pulls the ring. You could swear you hear bones cracking and knuckles snapping because it takes so much. She lowers it and she moves it out towards you, and clearly expecting you to outstretch your hand.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, yes.
She says, "The word you're looking for is aurum.
Sorry?
Aurum.
Aurum.
Find the aurum."
Find the aurum.
Wait, what?
A-U-R-U-M.
No, I.
All right.
Yeah, I know. You, my Eberron scholars will be like, holy shit. But
Oh.
my...
Well, does this have some sort of like magical stuff so that if I'm holding it, I'm going to get into more trouble?
It should get you magically into some places. But unfortunately, you will have to look the part if you're caught. And I'm sorry, my dear, I do not know if there is any amount of clothing that could make you appear to be a member of the upper class.
No, that makes sense. Most of you are real short. Not as an insult, just you're tiny.
It's how it goes.
Does just one more question about the ring.
Yes?
Like if I put this on, nothing weird's gonna happen to me, right?
No.
Okay. No disappearing and shit.
No
Just wanna make sure.
disappearing
Okay, cool.
or anything else, though you should watch your language.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a little uncomfortable. You just
No,
gave me a lot of information. I'm a little overwhelmed.
Dad, I'm not trying to say I care. I'm saying you're trying to walk amongst these upper crust sorts. That'll get you discounted real quick.
That makes sense. I suppose if you have had any other pointers other than this aurum, for that sort of thing.
She holds out her hand as if to take yours.
Delaria puts her Delaria puts her left hand towards her.
And then she puts her hand on top of it and says,
I like you. And you are in extraordinary danger. Be very careful who you say that word to.
All right. I will lock that word up in my safe in my brain and not bring it up unless I need to out loud.
It's only for
in
a
my
few.
head.
It's only for a few moments that she can hold her hands out like that before she has to place them back.
Okay.
But and then she says, "Take care of yourself, and bring just a little bit more light into this dark world."
Do you want to maybe try to go in the pool?
No.
All right. I could have figured out a way to figure that out, but
Are you kidding?
your choice.
I don't want anybody to see this withered old wrinkly skin. I want them to remember me how I was 70 years ago. Those were gams you could knock a gold piece off of.
Alrighty then. It's a oddly specific choice, especially for your livelihood. But all right, fair.
I was very beautiful.
I'm sure you were. I can tell.
Just don't forget it.
I won't.
All right. So you've been given the name, the Aurum. You've been told that this ring has something to do with it, and as you look at it, you see written on the inside the words "Gold Concord."
Okay. Alrighty. Writing things down.
The decision that I want you and Foxy to make at this point, it's unlikely that there are any tieflings or shifters in this secret area.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some dwarves, there might be some elves. Shifters and tieflings don't really make it to this stratum. Right? Rarely. You will be noticed. Right? Do you want to try to get in there now, or wait for Ashley and Theron?
I think it's better to wait.
Yeah, I imagine it's better to wait. I don't want to risk. I'd go in alone before I'd risk Foxy.
I wouldn't
Cool.
risk that at all.
We had a few interruptions. Are we good to go for like an extra 5-10 minutes?
Yes,
Do the
I think it's
Gorgon
good.
scene?
I am. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, if it's just 5 or 10, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I really want to eat my fries.
I know. I'm excited for those fucking fries. Anyway,
So
Language.
you are brought to an outbuilding, and there is very clearly the white gated areas that they set up for horses, right? And they've attached one to the side of this, not hastily or anything, but recently. You're able to see like the way the dirt has moved and everything. That this was a recent endeavor, right? And standing out, having come from this outbuilding, whose normal use you can't quite make out, is a stunning creature. It is a large bull that appears to be made of steel, and dripping from its nostrils is a clearly toxic, poisonous green gas. And where the gas falls to the ground, the grass turns to stone. There are handlers watching it, clear, like, game preserve style people, right? Muldoon from Jurassic Park, if that means anything to anybody, right? Like that's the sort of people that are watching this from far away, clearly upset that they're showing this dangerous beast to the guests, but you don't say no to the guests of the Dagger River Country Club. And the woman is there, and she says, "So, this is the Gorgon. I recommend staying far away. They can breathe quite a distance, but you can see it. This is a truly dangerous beast. It is apparently well domesticated and well tamed, so we don't need to worry about it breaking out or causing havoc, but we don't want to push it, yes? So I would say stay back here about 30 feet away and observe it in its majesty."
great. Thank you so much. This is amazing. Why is this here?
Well, I believe that, and she looks, and she, let me double check. And she goes and she talks with one of the wardens, and you see him just give like a big shrug. right? Like they tell me to watch the beasts, not why they have them. And she says, well, the staff isn't quite sure. We do have large beasts come through for special hunting trips. We've definitely had petrification beasts come so that people can experience what it's like to turn to stone. But usually when that's the case, we'll have Jarosco healers on staff to turn people back, which we don't have currently. So I'm afraid I don't entirely know.
Hey John, can we say that I have that pass that what's her name gave us?
Which pass?
The pass that allows us to be around her animals and them not attack us.
No. That was
That's only in the location.
presence.
Sorry?
What's that?
She didn't give us a pass. It was
Yes.
just like she walked with us.
No, she gave Delaria a pass at the very end, like a key, so that Delaria could move through that area safely.
And come talk to her again, right?
Yes. Is it possible that I could have
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I'm fine. You
Wonderful.
knew you were going to the Gorgon. Yeah.
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 Then I am going to brazenly walk up to it.
The gamekeeper says in a Carnathi accent, that is a very bad idea.
I am nothing but bad ideas. And I walk towards it. And I look at
The gamekeeper's like unslinging a huge staff, and he presses or it's a spear, and he presses a button on its side, and it lights up with lightning. And he says, if this is your choice, I will be walking beside you to make sure that no harm comes to you.
keep
I'm
yourself
gonna pull my
safe.
great sword. Yes, and I will come with as well.
And
Both of you love to live dangerously as me. And I walk towards it.
great, so you walk.
Both of us are paid to live as dangerously as you, good sir.
When you get close enough to it, you're able to see into the barn-like building. And inside it are dozens of crates, exactly like the ones the weapons being smuggled into the city have been in. And it seems that this Gorgon has been left near them to protect them.
Huh.
However, the country club does not hide these sorts of things. The crates for sure, but large monsters being shipped in, that's not very easy. So it was known to the staff and known to people that there was a Gorgon, enough that you were invited to this outbuilding that had what's the word? Corral. Corral is the word I've been looking for. A corral built.
Is it golden?
around it. It is not.
Yeah.
It's white. It's white picket corral. It's,
With golden
it's
trim.
weird. It's weird and fancier.
Gold.
So, yeah, you see that indeed this is the nearby stop. This is smuggling stop B or something. I don't know, but like the next to last one before it makes its way to Sharn, right? The country club is smuggling in low-grade weapons into the city.
And we know it's moving tonight because the Gorgon leaves just a few hours. Interesting.
This is likely, therefore, since they've had the Gorgon for a few days, this is likely the end of this shipment and maybe even the last shipment at all.
And possibly the biggest, because they got a Gorgon to watch it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's say, make a perception check, the two of you that are here, to count and figure this out.
I'm using my once per day reroll.
Sure.
Same.
Worth it. That's 20.
Yours is worth it. Yours is much better. I got a 17, but not 20 is always much better.
Your
It's a
your guess from the amount of weapons that have been showing up is that maybe 10 crates have made their way to the city. There's another 30 here.
Wow.
There's
This
enough
is-
for a war.
Yes.
You know
A civil
he's
war.
guy.
Literally.
It looks like
Yeah.
someone to put down a civil war.
No, this is to cause insurrection.
This
That
is
whole
to
deal-
end it, is what
That
I'm
whole
saying.
deal made with the Swords of Liberty and Dusk was over one of these crates.
Yeah. I'm saying whoever ends up with this deal is the end and the beginning of the conversation. Huh.
Hmm.
Looks like we have to figure out where this shipment is going, don't we?
I have a sneaking suspicion that they have come from far off, but I have nothing to hang my hat on quite yet. But it is possible they are from as far away as the mirror holds. Again, that is nothing but a gut feel.
Does anyone have find item or something like that? Or
Locate object?
Locate object.
My magic is thwack.
And my magic is sorcery. I don't.
Well,
have
there are
sorcery, you get, like, 3
clearly
spells.
lots of hidden things here at the Dagger River Country
Yeah.
Club, and there 2 places in particular we seem to want to get into: the this barn and these other things, and the back room. Why don't we explore those next week on Dice, Drinks, and Drama, Reigns of Rhaan, and Eberron Noir Spectacular. We'll be back on Twitch next week. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on YouTube. We really appreciate you guys standing in solidarity with us against hate. That is always a great thing to have folks doing. Thank you so much for being here. Who wants to talk about Homebrew?
Sure. Homebrew is a weekly TTRPG news talk show where 3 people with ADHD talk about TTRPGs, and anytime we get off topic, we have to homebrew our way back on. There will be this Sunday an episode on YouTube of our what is it? Interview with the Book of Gob creators. I'm pressuring myself. I'm gonna put it up. And yeah. And then
Homebrew
join
might
us.
be at a mysterious time.
Yeah, so we may be doing this week, we might be doing a little bit later than usual. Where for Carter, should Carter tune in, it'd be, I don't know what time period that would be. The night. What is the night here for you? Also the very night for you, I believe. Also,
Wait, okay. What time Eastern?
I don't know. Let's say 6.
Okay, well then I can't know what time it is.
Let's just guess. Let's just guess at a 6. What would that be for you?
6 p.m.?
Uh-huh.
That's 1 a.m. for me.
Wow. Hey. Not horrible for you. Anyway, we don't know. Vixen travel. We're going to figure that out. But usually it is on Mondays at 10 a.m.? No, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Please join us then. We talk about TTRPGs. It's a ton of great fun. Yeah. That's all I have to say about Homebrew. Normally I would talk about who we're going to raid next, but I don't know how to do that on YouTube. I don't think we do that here.
And do that on YouTube.
Yeah, that's sad. They really need to implement that. That would really, well, that is part of the problem, isn't it? Hate raids.
It is.
Yeah. But actually, those raids come from Reddit, from what I've heard. We've tracked those down. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Please join us again next week. Same time, a different Bat channel. Yeah, hope to see you then, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Right.
Peace,
Peace, love.
Peace and love. Goodbye.
What's happening?
I don't know.